Welcome to Artifacts Worldswide, Lands of Aecathan, where a bunch of people who've played D&D a little too much get together and play D&D a little bit more. Because it's what we do. What else are we going to do? It's Pandemic World.
It's Pandemic World or Pandemic Week, because...
World.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so how's everybody tonight?
I'm great. The internet sucks, but I'm great.
We'll switch over. We'll switch over our during the intro, but we're doing good.
Excellent. Glad to hear. Yep, it's been an interesting week. Been fun today though, because finished writing up all of the details about the place you're going today.
Super helpful.
Yep, Costead's Wave. So now I know. And there will be a map and everything once you get there.
Ooh.
So, but before we get to that, let me officially welcome you this evening to the lands of Aecathan. No, they don't. So welcome back. We were just discussing makeup tips for those who till the fields.
Lots of sunscreen.
Right. Very
It's
little
a must.
eyeliner. Yeah.
That's better.
So sad.
So, when last we met, you had departed from the capital city of Arimynn on a mission for the Thieves Guild leader VSFX to try and root out some spies entering the country from the Temple of Jogravana. You met back up with some old friends, Captain Yorobi and the crew of the Clever Sprite, and began your trip down the river toward your first stop, Costead's Wave. Unfortunately, you were once again attacked by bandits on the way, and this time they seemed to be prepared for the Clever Sprite, such that they managed to take out the propulsion system, and then half of the group of bandits charged across the surface of the water to attack the craft, while the other half and their cleric stayed on shore and attacked from a distance. You were able to defeat the bandits once again without loss of life, although that was iffy a couple times. And Sigrith was able to get the magical riverboat back up to limping and get it moving. And so you were able to travel a little bit further before the captain called a halt for the evening. And that's where we pick up the action tonight.
Ooh, long rest.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so, adventurers, what would you like to do?
Is morning or night?
It's evening.
Okay, so we already made. I think we made dinner that we had done.
Yep.
I didn't make it.
No. Me and what's his name? Murrow made it
Yes.
because he could heat things up.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
awesome.
that's right. God, was that after the fight or before?
Oh,
That was after.
That was after.
That was the well-deserved hot food after being through that.
Oh yeah,
So-
that's right.
So I would say we take a rest. We like put up, do shifts and get this
Yeah.
whole sleeping thing going.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I take my dinner and pick around any and all of the meat.
Oh.
Eat about half of it and reach it over to Zori.
I'm gonna be fat before this is all over.
Yes, but you'll be happy.
Possibly. And I finish it.
You see Captain Yorobi and Sigrith up on the pilot deck, and they look like they're deep in conversation.
Right. Because
No.
how did they affect her magic?
Probably dispel, right? Is that what we...
But I don't believe she doesn't have to concentrate on it either. It's just a spell that affects the thing and then works for a while. So
But she probably burned the rest of her spell energy in the fight.
yes,
Yep.
I'd really be curious as to what they're talking about. But
Let's go find out.
But
I do not do that.
No? Okay.
Kind of intense.
Yeah.
are they intensely talking?
Oh, yeah.
Mama not happy.
I go check on.
Well, Sigrith isn't looking very happy either.
She rarely does, though. So
Well,
Right?
usually
That's
it's a fairly neutral expression. She looks distinctly unhappy,
Ooh.
like upset, unhappy.
look at me, I didn't do it.
I want to check
Me
on
either.
Yara and make sure she's okay.
Yeah, she's sitting on one of the crates near the prow, feet dangling, just kind of heels kicking the crate as she eats.
Are you feeling okay? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm feeling fine. I'm gonna be a little sore in the morning, but I'm usually a little sore in the morning.
All right.
Uh,
But thanks for the warm food.
Sure, it was my pleasure. Thanks to Marrow.
Ooh, Mero did it?
Yeah, he made it warm.
Oh, okay. I'll definitely thank him then, because this is great. I mean, if I got to get beat up to get warm food, I'm okay with that.
Well, hopefully you don't have to get beat up to get warm food. We've been talking about a couple different options to rig up on this ship.
Nice.
But I just wanted to check on you.
Okay. Did you get to eat too?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good. Then she kind of looks up and goes, wow. They're pissed.
Well, having someone try and affect the ship is not likely to make either of them happy.
Yeah. Well, Sigrith will figure it out. She's really smart.
Yeah.
I mean,
But it
she's
might
the-
just need to be mad for a while.
She's the one who figured all this out in the first place, so I'm sure she can do something.
I'm sure there's ways to ward off that kind of thing. I don't know how to do it, but I'm sure she can figure it out. All right. I'll let you finish your dinner. I just wanted to make sure you were feeling okay.
Yep. Thanks.
Back.
So you see Sigrith has thrown her hands in the air and said something and spun around and headed for the ladder.
I stay out of the way.
Yes.
She comes down the ladder, walks in the cabin, and you hear the door to the back chamber slam shut.
Ooh.
And you see Casimiro up on the pilot deck like this.
I'm just hanging out. I'm not. Mm-mm. Nope.
She comes down the stairs, or down the ladder, and says, "All right. Well, it looks like we're going to be putting up anchor here tonight. And definitely going to need to put up a watch. So I'll let all of you figure it out.
I just need 4 hours. I just need 4 hours meditation time so I can take a 4-hour shift.
I'm going to be sleeping up on the pilot deck tonight, so if anything happens, I'll be up and ready."
Is that where you want the watches also, or one on each end, or?
Either one on each end or one on each side.
Good point.
But just
So
so
you
we
guys
can keep an
four.
eye on it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I assume. Well, are other people going to take them? Will the
crew.
Other ship people be able to take some?
Oh, aye. They'll all be taking their normal shifts.
And they do threes, right?
That they do. 3 3-hour shifts.
I'll do one.
Yeah, and I think if we do some, then for most of the night we can probably even get 3 people up, which might not be bad. 1 on each end and somebody in the middle.
Aye. Or maybe somebody who's just roaming.
Yeah. But then keep one person at each end and then somebody just walking around.
Yeah. I'm Greek, not Roman.
Oh.
Sorry, had to be done.
I thought it. I said nothing, but I thought it.
Oh my goodness.
Really didn't have to be done. All right. So, Marrow asks if he can take first shift, and Yarla says she's happy to switch with him. So,
I'll take first.
I'll take third.
all right. Then, for the first 3 hours, whoever's up, please roll perception.
I don't see a lot. What is it? Perception?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have a 12.
All right. Well, you did better than Marrow did.
Oof.
So, yeah. He rolled a 2. So,
Oh,
I'm up too, sorry.
but you see that he appears to be pretty worn out. He keeps,
dozing.
I had a 23, Jeff.
okay. All right. Well, fortunately, there doesn't seem to be anything particularly interested in the sprite, at least not so far this evening.
Okay.
So the first shift goes very smoothly.
Sweet.
Who's on the next shift? That will be Yarla from the crew.
So partway during that, Zorith and Arimynn will switch.
Okay.
And then thinking Tasha and I'll stagger. So like the first hour, it was just the two. Then I'll do 3 and then wake up Tasha. And then the last hour, it'll just be
2.
Arimynn and Barnaby. But
Okay.
that way we can, most of the dark time of night, we'll have 3 people.
Okay.
That made sense in my head. I wrote it. I have a diagram.
Oh my god.
All right. So
I'll wake Tasha up.
let's go ahead and roll perception for the second shift.
Is that still me?
That's better. Yeah, for the first hour.
Yep. And I have the first hour.
Oh, that's much better.
Only a 15.
That's what Yarla got.
I got a 16.
Excellent. So, fairly aware of what's going on, and again, the evening seems to pass fairly uneventfully, and it's the dead of night now.
I wake up
And-
Tasha.
Yep. And Yarla goes and wakes up Barnaby.
Your turn.
Okay.
I'm also sleeping out on the deck, though.
I think we all are probably, right?
Yeah, just in
There isn't a
case.
whole lot of room in that cabin.
Before we all started this, I did put some stuff together for in the morning in the kitchen galley. So I just want to say that now. So in the morning, it's ready.
All right. What'd you get? Go ahead and roll for the last round of perception.
Oh, it's probably your turn, Arimynn.
What was this, the last?
Yeah.
Yeah, this
We're
last
all-
session.
And
Nice.
Tasha.
21.
Okay. What am I running?
Perception?
Oh, sure. 21.
21. All right. You are fairly certain that there's nothing around.
I'm pretty confident. How about you, Tasha?
I'm pretty confident.
And so, fortunately, the night passes uneventfully, and everyone is able to achieve a long rest.
Huzzah.
Your points are all back.
So, shortly after the sun crests the eastern horizon, you see the captain climbing down from the pilot deck. She looks a little mussed and a little sleepy, but she just kind of nods to everybody and wanders into the cabin.
I head into the galley. Plan because we're all about food on this show.
Marrow is already there, heating up cups of coffee,
Wonderful.
and the captain
Now that he
already
knows,
has
right?
one in her hands, and she's sipping it.
Yeah, he'd been doing that. So I the night before I put some oats in to soak. It's the whole overnight oat thing. So all we have to do is heat them up, and they won't take as long. They'll already be soft.
Smart.
Okay.
So if he just heats them up, then they'll be ready to go. And they're all seasoned and yummy.
Nice. All right. Yeah. So
Well,
he starts doing
When are you moving to Colorado for me?
I know, right? You could just move here.
Oh, right. Sorry, I digress, sir. My mistake.
That's all right. Because, digression has never happened in a D&D game before.
No, never.
Because we don't do that sort of thing.
Mm-mm.
Except for all those other times.
What other times?
Oh, yeah.
Well, there was that one time.
Yes.
Band camp?
Yes.
Yes.
At one time, we played D&D at band camp.
That might have happened, actually.
I never went to band.
So,
Play football. In camp.
the warm spiced oatmeal is very much appreciated by the crew. Except you notice Sigrid hasn't made an appearance.
Uh-oh.
I will, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I go check.
All right.
Hand you a cup of coffee to take with you.
Mm. So, coffee in hand, I go to Sigrid's quarters and knock. Hello? Good morning. I brought coffee for you.
The door opens a crack and a hand comes through.
Okay. And I hand her the coffee. And I say, there's oatmeal. Would you like oatmeal?
Hand pulls back, door closes.
And that was the end of that conversation. Alrighty then. I go back upstairs. Well, she's alive.
I'm pleased to meet you. Now go away.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Shortly thereafter, you hear sounds of sparking and some dull, muted booms. You're used to this.
Okay.
Zorith, make an Arcana check.
Let's. 16 and 4, 20.
Well, how much?
20. Dirty
20.
20.
You remember that sound. It's the sound of somebody throwing a lightning bolt.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And you hear that sound occur twice.
And then the boat starts to hum.
Yep.
Lightning. Interesting.
And the captain says, "All right, let's see if we can get to the wave." All right, everybody, look sharp. We're going full speed. So keep your eye out for anything in the river. I want 2 spotters in the prow.
I'll be spot our back.
All right.
I'll
I
be spot
assume-
front.
I assume Arimynn will be on the other side.
Yep.
I'll go up front with Tasha.
Okay. And Yarla's up there too.
Oh, well, then maybe I'll wander in the middle.
Okay.
Side to side.
And yeah. You take off at a good clip. You don't really have a sense of how fast you're going until you look at the shore. And you see exactly how fast the shore is going by.
Nice.
Faster than any sailing vessel you've been on, that's for sure.
Wow.
So apparently, when the sprite wants to move, she can.
So it was on the south shore that things would come at them, right? All the attacks are from the south shore?
Yep.
So that's where I'm looking.
Okay. All right. So the sprite sails under the last bridge, and and the river begins to open.
Okay.
And you see the waters of Lake Ianasa spreading out before you. And just as it looks like the sprite is about to charge right out into the middle of the lake, it begins a turn to port, and you see off to the left the docks that denote Costead's wave.
Yeah. Ooh.
And I'll fix it so that it's...
Trying to get it all arranged.
Yep.
There you go.
The sprite passes the first dock and moves on to the second. And pulls alongside the T-bar. And you see a couple people come running out of a warehouse nearby and run down to the end of the dock and help tie the ship up.
Do we pay her, or is it paid by Viesa?
Actually, she told you that she would welcome you on board just to have extra hands because she was anticipating trouble.
Oh, right. Okay.
We did earn our keep.
Yes, you did. So.
It might not have had the outcome had we not been there.
Yep. And that's pretty much what Captain Yorobi says when she comes down the ladder. She's like, well, we made it. And I'm not certain we would have if it hadn't have been for you four. So, thank you. And she's...
Always an interesting time on this boat.
We try to help.
And as she's standing there, Sigrith comes out of the cabin and sees the captain standing right there and kind of stops suddenly and says, "Permission to go ashore, Captain." She says, "Of course. Go see what you can do." And she just kind of turns and hops onto the shore and heads off into the wave.
How
I kind of look at the captain like, is everything okay? Give her sort of that look.
She's blaming herself for what happened. I tried to tell her. We couldn't have anticipated what happened. I mean, when was the last time bandits had a cleric with them?
That is awfully odd.
not normal bandits.
But this is that drive system is her baby, and for someone to just be able to cast a spell and disable it. She's not the cheeriest sort, our Sigrith, but you wouldn't want to make her angry. And whoever that asshole was made her angry.
Mm.
So she's gone off to see if she can find anything that'll keep that from happening again.
There's got to be a way to word it.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, though, I think the sprite's days of plying the rivers are probably coming to a halt temporarily. Until we can figure that out. I don't dare go back. They were waiting for us. Specifically.
Man.
So...
Well, they were looking for your...
They want your ship.
They were looking for the drive system. Who made that thing?
Sigrid did. When I say it's her baby, I mean it's her baby.
Somebody should be with her.
Somebody should go with her. If she made it once, they might make her do it again if they take her.
She's valuable.
Oh, you've got a point. I hadn't even thought about that. Meadow! Yes, Captain. Sigrid went that way. Go catch up with her and keep an eye on her. Really? Yes. If she says anything, tell her it was an order from me. All right. And he trots off the boat and stops and goes, which way did she go? The captain says, I'm betting anything she's headed for the wand. So go there. Right. Okay. And he takes off at a trot, trying to catch up with Sigrid. Well, I don't suppose you'd be willing to help unload.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do that.
Oh,
We help
you.
unload.
Because a third of me unpackers just went after the wizard. So, all right. Well, just pile it up on the dock. They'll be coming to get it soon enough. Just put all the barrels over on that side and all of the crates over on that side, and they'll sort it out when they come get it.
We help unload.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it doesn't take terribly long, not even an hour, with the four of you helping Yarla and Barnaby. And at this point, you see a couple people coming down the dock. Looks like a merchant and a couple hired hands, and Captain walks out to talk to him, and you see, money exchange hands, and there's a handshake, and the merchant points, and the hired hands go over and grab one of the crates. They pick it up between the two of them and start headed back down the dock with it, and the merchant kind of waves at the captain, and she comes back and says, all right, well, I don't want to keep you, but
Question.
yeah.
I'm fairly knowledgeable about my way around in Costead's Way, right?
Yeah.
Do I know where Sigrid might have went?
Oh yeah, the obsidian wand.
Okay.
There's a rather high level wizard who has retired to Costead's Wave and is making a living. She's an enchanter.
Okay.
And she's making a living enchanting stuff.
I kind of disembark and make my way down there. I want to check up and make sure everything's all right. I got a weird feeling.
All right.
With us or without us?
He's not trying to sneak away, but he doesn't say anything and just takes off. So.
All right.
Would we have noticed?
Make a perception check. The other three of you.
Oh, 12. Cocked. Rolled up on my...
What'd you get, Tasha?
14.
10.
Like I say, I'm not trying to sneak away or anything. I just...
Right. Tasha, you do notice that once the captain says you're all free to go, Arimynn just kind of turns hops off the boat and starts walking down the pier. Zorith and Aribell don't seem to notice.
So I go to Zorith and I say, is it normal that Arimynn just takes off by himself?
I look.
Yes. You see him. He's at the end of the pier.
Yes, and it's annoying.
Should we maybe follow him?
I don't know. We also don't know kind of where we're supposed to be going either. It all falls on him. Hold on. I will cast message. Can I still? Is he close enough for me to cast message?
Oh yeah. He's still in eye shot. I mean, you can.
I
still
will cast
see him,
message
To the Ivory's Raft Tavern.
Where are you going? Should we follow you? I've only been in Costead's way. Question. We were here before we went on to the before I went on to the magic school, correct? This is where we were located before?
Yes.
Okay. Where are you going? We need you to help find your person in the underground. Should we follow you?
I say, I'm going to make sure that Zigrith is okay. You can come along if you like. That's all I say.
I say he's going to check to see if Zigrith's okay. We can come along if we want.
Well, let's go then. Sounds like an invitation to me.
I apologize to the captain for needing to leave quickly.
She says, no apologies necessary. We're here for a while, and there's nothing else to do now but just kind of, sit back and wait to see if Sigurd figures anything out. As soon as all this stuff is collected, I'm going to get a drink.
I make my apologies while backward walking off the boat.
Right.
Down the thing backwards, I'm so sorry,
Did somebody tell Aribell?
Aribell, we're leaving. Let's go.
I thought she was with us.
I am.
Okay.
We're high-fiving the gnome. Let's go.
I was going to ask Jeff a question. Sorry.
Go
ahead. So we're supposed to go to the Ivory's Raft Tavern. Is that close to the water?
That's in Thunder's Edge.
Oh, okay. I wrote it down here. Okay, never mind.
We're meeting his known associate. That's the only words I can think of right now. We're meeting his known associate to get more info. Perhaps
is that
there
or here? Because I had go to Costead's Wave, Ivory's Raft Tavern, and see Wigilliam Cobblewick. Is that Thunder's Edge and not here?
That's Thunder's Edge.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from here, we just have to get to...
Yeah.
So we might want to pick up some horses or something.
Yeah. She can provide once we get there. He is... we're waiting for him to help us find Allian Parawin.
But that's all when we get there, so.
No, that's here. This is the Thieves Guild. That's his mentor is Allian Parawin.
Oh, Arimynn.
Arimynn's, yeah.
Gotcha.
So he's what we're doing here, and then he needs to help us get to Thunder's Edge, and then once we get to Thunder's Edge, she has
Wigilliam
associates there.
All right.
So we quickly hurry after Arimynn.
Okay.
So we're headed to the Obsidian Wand.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm trying to see if.
I assume we catch up to him.
Yeah, it doesn't take terribly long. He didn't have all that much of a lead on you. The only issue is you're not exactly sure where he went.
Like where he's going?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, you know.
We know where
can-
it went.
Well, you know, yeah, you know as much as you heard from the captain,
Right.
but that doesn't tell you where in Costead's Wave it is.
So that's why we
I've
tried. Oh,
been here. So I spent time here. Can I roll something to see if I know where it's at?
Sure, make a history check.
didn't we catch up to Arimynn? He's on his way to the Obsidian Wand. I'm super confused.
Yes,
We're trying to figure out if we know where the obsidian wand is.
yes,
Oh, Arimynn should know.
yes, but you're not. Arimynn is out of sight.
That's what we asked. Did we catch up to him?
No, because you don't know which way he went other than down the pier.
22.
22. You seem to recall that the wand, the obsidian wand, was a ways away from the one place you know really well, which is the tavern.
Have I been here before?
I don't know. Make a history check. Let's find out.
20, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You've been through here, but you haven't really spent a whole lot of time here.
Ah.
Well, do you want me to roll then also? Or
you-
fine,
or
I
you-
will go to the nearest shop and I will ask.
All right.
That's a woman for you, always asking directions.
Yep. From where you are, the thing that catches your eye is this very interesting building off to the southwest that almost looks like it was grown and not built.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where's the wizard's tower? They're usually distinctive.
True.
Yeah, I ask for directions on how to get there.
Especially when called the Obsidian.
Aribell looks nostalgic as they're walking through town.
All right. I've got the little wagon icon. So,
Where we are.
right. So you basically see, as you're walking down, you look to the right and you see this over here. So you just kind of walk across the grass until you get to this strange building. It looks to have been built completely from driftwood and vine, and the roof looks like it's woven prairie grasses, but it doesn't look rickety. I mean, it looks fairly solid.
Is there a sign?
No. There is what looks to be an open doorway with vines hanging down in front of it that kind of obscure the inside.
I'd check it out.
All right. Are you going
So-
in?
Yeah.
Okay. You walk in. The inside of this building looks pretty much like the outside does, except that in the center of this 20-foot diameter chamber, there's a fairly large, about 6-foot diameter campfire going that doesn't seem to be making any smoke, but there's clearly flame. You can feel the heat as you walk in.
Anything else?
You see a gnome in a kind of a plain green one-piece dress, wavy hair, blue eyes. She turns around and looks up at you and smiles and says, "Hello."
Hi.
Do we see Sigrath and Arimynn?
No.
What's the name of the place that we're looking for?
The
Obsidian
Obsidian Wand.
The Obsidian Wand?
Yeah.
Okay. I say, we're looking for the Obsidian Wand. Do you know where that is?
Do I look like a wizard?
Doesn't
What
mean you
was it?
don't know.
Of course I know. I live here.
Well, great. Could you give us directions?
Oh, sure. And she gives you reasonable directions. She says, head south past the first road. The road's going to bend around to the right. Keep following it until you get to the Obsidian Wand.
Thank you very much.
She says, you can't miss it. It's got that ugly yellow roof.
Ugly yellow roof.
Yeah.
I will keep that in mind.
I mean, some people like it. I don't.
To each their own.
Say, well met. Thank you for your instruction. It's lovely to meet you. My name is Zorith, and I hold out my hand to shake her hand. Or is it a girl or a boy? It's a girl with
It's
the
a girl.
dress. Sorry.
Yep. Oh, we're doing that. Okay. My name is Caliban Wildwander, and welcome to the Shrine of Quisfa.
Okay.
Please.
Kelly.
Shrine of what?
Wonder?
Caliban Wildwander. And she's welcomed you to the Shrine of Quisfa. You know Quisfa is the goddess of nature.
Well met. I am Tasha Greenvale.
You're not from here.
I certainly am not. That's why I needed directions.
That makes sense.
Right?
I'm Aribell.
Okay.
We are looking for someone who has gone to the Obsidian Wand. Thank you for your hospitality. We will head on out now.
I put a little. Is there like something for donations?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
So I stick a silver piece in.
Oh. Well. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Have a nice day.
I dropped some coins in.
Okay.
All right.
And we leave.
Oh wait, yeah. So we leave. But as we exit, I get close to Aribell and I say, "I sort of wish I had donuts for everyone we met. I feel like their lives would be better if they all had a donut."
I think we need to learn to make them.
Oh, that would be amazing. And I just like grin to myself and start thinking of all the ways that would mess up Thorgrin's life, and just kind of chuckle to myself as we walk.
All right. So you
Then
follow
yes,
her directions and walk down to the intersection. Keep going. The street turns to the right. and you follow it down the road.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cute.
Until you come to a building
With the yellow roof.
with a yellow roof. It's a stucco single-story building. The roof really is bright yellow tile. And there are vines growing all over the outside of the building. And there's a sign next to the doorway, which is around the corner, that just shows a black wand. Okay, now,
Mm-hmm.
back up a little bit. Arimynn, you
Yes.
actually managed to catch up with Sigrith before she gets there.
Okay. Fall in step, like, next to her.
She just looks over and looks back and says, "What are you doing?"
I just want to make sure you get here, okay?
It's Costead's wave.
I understand that, but do the math for a minute. If you're the one who made that device on the ship, and that's what they were after, if they know you're the one who made it, kind of puts a target on you.
She stops abruptly, like this had not occurred to her. And she looks at you, and then you hear footsteps coming up behind you.
I turn and look back.
It's Marrow. He comes trotting up, and Sigrith looks at him and goes, "You two? Sorry, Captain's orders." All right, I'm not going to argue. I have better things to do. Keep up, and she takes off, walking at a pretty good pace.
Stay in step with her. Stay in step with her.
Yep. And she gets to somewhere in the west part of town, turns a corner, and immediately turns again and enters the building you just heard me describe. You see that inside the shop, this is kind of an L-shaped building, and it looks like just the first part of the L is actually the storefront. There is a counter made of wood topped in brass. It has actually glass compartments in it.
Uh-oh. We see Nikki. Don't hear her, but we see her.
She's muted.
Yeah.
I always mute.
Okay, so it's them, not us.
Yup. We had 1 week. 1 week where things didn't go to hell. But that appears to be over with. So now we wait for the internet to sort itself out.
Oh.
We all leveled up again.
Woohoo! Congratulations on your levels, guys! Level 13. It's exciting.
Yeah. And we're back.
I was looking for level 14, but
Right. We might have to restart Twitch.
Let's find out. It should reconnect.
Oh, it looks like it is. There it goes.
I don't know what that means.
All right, and now we're back. We made it 1 week without an internet hiccup, so, we should count our blessings and just expect this crap to happen.
Hashtag Zoom.
Hashtag
Pandemic.
school starting all over the country.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of hashtag Zoom problems this morning or yesterday morning. Woo.
Yep.
Yesterday.
Hashtag
Oh, yeah.
Zoom went down. Not
Did it really?
Oh, it crashed all over the country. Yeah.
And
Mostly
all of the classes that started yesterday, none of those teachers could get to their students.
Mostly on the East Coast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for a few hours.
Yeah.
So,
I was
all
off
right.
work yesterday. We used Microsoft Teams.
Okay, so as I was saying before I was so rudely kicked offline, Zorith leads you down the street, turns a corner, turns immediately into a building with a sign out front that's just a black wand. Inside, it's clear that this is an L-shaped building, but only about the first third of it is actually storefront. There's a curtain that covers the entire width of the building, kind of separating the other 2/3. You see a large wooden counter with a brass countertop, and it has glass compartments in it that seem to have different things on display. As you enter, the bell attached to the door rings, and you quickly see let me find the right person here. There we go. Yep. You quickly see an older human woman dressed in brown leather pants, tunic, brown leather vest over it. She's wearing a deep red hooded cloak with the hood pulled back, and she kind of walks through the curtain, wiping her hands on a towel, drops the towel on the counter, and looks at all of you and just blinks and says, "Oh, welcome to the Obsidian Wand. Wow, your hair is amazing. And interesting, very interesting colors. Hold on." And she pulls the hood up and pulls the hood down over her eyes. And pauses for a second and then says,
Ooh, that's cool.
"I'm sorry. Welcome to the Obsidian Wand. I am Eva Fawcett. How may I help you?"
Look at Sigrith. That's your cue.
Sigrith says, "My name is Sigrith. I'm the engineer aboard the Clever Sprite, yes. Oh, you're the creator. I've heard about this.
Uh-oh.
I'm honored. That's rather ingenious what you've managed to accomplish. What can I do for you?" "We were attacked by bandits. They had a cleric. They dispelled my engine. We were dead in the water. That cannot happen again." Ooh. And even though you see that the hood is clearly over her eyes, she turns her head to you, Arimynn, and says, "Someone's had a bad day, I take it."
And I would handle that situation as such if I were you.
Fair enough. I suspect this is going to take a little bit more time than a casual conversation.
Are we all there?
About this point, you three come walking in the door.
I turn and look to see who's coming through the door.
And you hear the bell ring as the door opens again.
Okay. Take my hand off the hilt of my weapon.
And Eva says, 3 more shipmates.
I punch him in the shoulder.
Ow. Hey.
We don't know where we're going. Hi, Sigrith. Here.
Did the captain send you to?
No, we came
They're
after
following.
Arimynn.
Oh no, my irresponsible ass of a brother just took off without telling us. We have no idea where to go. Sorry, ma'am. You have a lovely establishment. And I do the little bow thing.
And she turns right. You notice she's got this red hooded cloak on. You can see what she's wearing under it, but the hood is pulled down almost to her upper lip. But she looks right at you and nods her head. It says, "Welcome to the Obsidian Wand. I can't say we've had this many people in the store in weeks."
I double punch him and then I just start wandering the store.
I start wandering the store too.
Okay.
Kind of wandered close to
There's
Sigrith.
there's basically there's like a small shelf that has different types of parchment and quills and ink, and that's about it. The only other thing that's visible are the 6 glass-fronted shelves in the counter.
I'll go look at those.
I wandered up near Sigrith. I'm sure you've already thought of this because you're very smart, but the name of the shop gave me an idea. I'm presuming you want some kind of ward against the dispel, but do you have a wand that has the spell that you cast so that if you ran out of spells, you could still activate the ship?
That's smart.
No. And I haven't found anyone who does. You don't have a wand of lightning bolt, do you? Oh, ooh, no. That's a little bit outside my wheelhouse for the most part. I'm sure it could be done, but I'd have to do a little bit of research first. I tend to angle towards less violent forms of magic.
We'll keep an eye out too as we're traveling, Sigrith. If we come across one.
What I want to know is how we keep it from happening again. There's got to be something. And Eva says, "There may very well be, my dear, but it's not something that I've found I have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. So it'll require a little research. You're welcome to stay and help me if you wish. Are all of you staying?"
No.
Miro says, "I'm under orders. I go where she goes. But I'll be happy to wait out here." "Oh, are you a wizard too?" "No, ma'am. Druid." "Oh. Well, I suppose you could always go up and talk to Caliban." I can just wait here. She's a challenging conversationalist.
We met her.
That's true. Oh, you did? Well. And no visible wounds. Excellent.
No, ma'am. Why would there be wounds?
Some people tend to find her mannerisms cutting?
Oh, no. She's a little odd, but she didn't offend me any.
She has other things on her mind.
Lots on her mind.
Yeah, we have that in common at times.
Sigrid,
Yes.
I'm supposed to see my mentor while we're here. Since it was a cleric that cast him, I'm happy to ask him as well if he knows anything.
She kind of
Father
turns.
Dilbus.
She kind of turns over her shoulder and says, "I'd appreciate that." Well, then, Sigrid, why don't you come with me? Do you drink tea? I prefer coffee. Right, well, you'll have to put up with tea. I'll try to make it very strong. Whatever. Follow me. Let's see what we can do.
Sigrid,
Yeah?
we gotta get going, but just keep in mind, especially if you can protect your engine, if they can't get it, they're really going to be looking for the one who can do it. Be careful.
I will.
I'm looking forward to seeing you sometime soon.
Thanks for the heads up.
I look at Zorith. Are you ready? Are you done punching me now?
You're muted.
I am done punching you for now.
Eva says, well, if there's ever anything I can do for the rest of you, please feel free to come back. Hopefully it will be something a little less challenging.
Did you need any?
Those of you who were looking in the shelves,
Mm-hmm.
there are 6 sort of nooks in this counter. Each one with a thick pane of glass in front of it so you can see through it. There is a rather nice-looking leather bag sitting on one shelf. There's a what looks like a platinum brooch sitting on another shelf. There's a
Brooch?
Yeah. There's a rather nondescript looking cap. There's a brilliant violet stone about an inch in diameter. It's not a gemstone, but it's polished. There is a golden necklace with a platinum pendant. And there is what almost looks to be the type of thing one would use to close a cloak.
Mm-hmm.
But it actually has on it the symbol of Turaura.
Really?
Who's Turaura again?
Aribell's.
My deity.
Oh.
Yes, the goddess
So
of
you've
healing.
seen the symbol on her amulet.
Before we leave, because everybody's kind of getting ready to go, I will pull Aribell over and I will point to the cloak class and I will say, isn't that your pendant?
It is.
Well, you look at it,
Beautiful.
it's not exactly the same. It looks more like an artistic rendering of the symbol of Turaura, but not the actual symbol itself.
It's a knockoff T-shirt.
But not perverse.
true.
It's not
No.
like a.
No.
It's just an artist rendering.
Yeah, it seems like it's supposed to bring Turaura to mind without
also be
actually
fancy.
trying to represent itself as something holy.
It's subtle.
It's beautiful.
And I ask, how much for that one?
And Eva stops and turns and lifts the edge of the hood up just a moment to see what you're looking at, puts it back down and says, the Parawin? That is just under 5,000 gold.
And I look at Aribell and I say, someday.
It's stunning.
Thank you.
What's the little leather bag?
Oh, that's, well, it's not little. It looks like a you know, like a large leather sack.
Woohoo!
What's that?
Ah, a container that will hold far beyond its apparent size.
Ooh.
We call them
Heard
How
of
much for that?
we call them bags of holding.
Yes, I've heard of this.
Just a shade under 4,000 gold.
Oof.
Then I look at Aribell and I go, someday, and I shake my head.
I'll have to save up for that.
Before we leave, there's a brilliant violet stone. What is that for?
Oh. That is called an Iowan stone.
Oh.
And that particular stone is of use only to spellcasters. It is an Iowan stone of reserve.
Ooh.
You can put up to 3 levels of spells into it, and it will save them, and you can recall them at your leisure.
What? Can't Sigrith use that for this? This for that? Isn't that? Will it work?
Yeah. She can put lightning bolt into it.
Eva says, unfortunately, it will only hold 1 spell of 3rd rank,
Oh.
and that could perhaps be an item of last resort,
Right.
but it will not solve the problem. And quite honestly, a wand would probably be cheaper.
Rats.
A wand it is.
I rest my hand on Sigrith's shoulder and I say, it sounds like you're in the right place. She'll be able to help you find it. And then I get close and I say, but last resort. And I point back at the Iowan stone.
And she kind of glances down at it, and you can actually see something in her face other than anger. Because when Eva said the word Iowan stone, Sigrith's eyes got wide.
Ooh.
But I asked.
Mm-hmm.
I would think that since the captain has a vested interest in keeping her ship going, she'd be happy to purchase that for you.
Kind of expensive one.
We'll see.
Last resort is always first backup plan.
How much is the Iowan stone?
A little under 6,000 gold.
Maybe someday.
That is likely the second most powerful item I have ever enchanted.
Mm.
Well, last resort is better than nothing.
Backup plan.
Sigrith just says, let's see if we just can't figure out how to keep it from happening again. That's the best method.
Well, I'll let you know if I find anything.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good day to you. And Sigrith, follow me. She turns and walks through the curtain, and Sigrith follows her.
Good luck.
Marrow leans against the wall and kind of slides down to the floor and just sits and says, you know, this may not be too bad. It's either going to be them coming back out from the curtain or the bell's going to ring. I could sleep.
Well, be careful.
That's true.
True.
I think I'm going to do just that.
Well, do me a favor, will you, Morrow?
Yeah.
Take good care of her for me.
Captain's orders. I always follow the captain's orders.
Smart man.
Get out of here.
All right. Where are we going?
Would I know during this time of the day where Allian might be?
Yeah, you're pretty sure that if he's not asleep, he's at the tavern.
We'll try the tavern first.
All right.
Legitimately called the tavern.
Mm-mm.
Is this the inn or is it a tavern?
Oh, it's a tavern. It's the tavern.
That's the name of it.
Yep. So,
I'm guessing we'll end up staying in town tonight.
yep. You head back
So
out,
we can either see if
back down to the corner. Up to the next intersection where you came from. This time, however, you move over to this building sitting within fairly clear view of the shore. It's a large L-shaped building. As you walk in, you see the bulk of the building is a common room. Tables and chairs. The whole place has kind of a rustic feeling to it. There's actually some driftwood still used for the ceiling. Everything else is rough-hewn wood. The tables and chairs are also made of rough-hewn wood, but they've been worn smooth by thousands of bodies that have sat in them and slumped over them, and you see that the whole room is lit by torches in sconces on the wall. But strangely enough, this doesn't have the traditional smoky haze that most taverns do. The air in here is actually pretty fresh. I mean, it smells like, ale and sweat, but it doesn't necessarily smell like smoke.
Something.
Yep. You see a couple people at tables here and there throughout the main room, and you see sort of at the edge of your vision over on the right, there's it looks like there's a bar that is the last third of the L. You see somebody sitting at the bar, slumped over with a tankard of ale in front of him, and you see a gentleman behind the counter, slender, 5'7", human. He's wearing a simple burlap shirt and rather baggy pants. He's got chestnut hair, long, beard the same color. And he kind of looks up as you walk in and says, we're open. Come right in.
Two questions. Is this the one that kind of has like the little alcoves?
Yes.
Okay. And is that Roderick, the owner of the tavern?
No.
Okay. Because I
Do
would.
I recognize him?
You don't, actually.
Okay. You new here?
You could say that.
Yeah.
I am Duncan.
I just did.
I am Duncan.
Duncan. Arimynn. Nice to meet you, Duncan.
I own this building.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What happened to the last owner?
He retired.
Ah.
Well, good for him.
And he sold to me.
All right. I look at the person slumped at the bar in front of him. Is it Allian?
Make a perception check.
16, sorry.
No. It does not look like Allian at all, actually.
Does the other guy look like Allian?
No, as you look around, you don't see anybody in here that you recognize.
Okay. Well,
can I get you something to drink?
Do you have tea?
I don't know.
Or hot water?
I can go in the back and look.
If not,
I don't think anyone has asked me for tea.
Or if you have hot water, I have tea. I could make my own.
Hot water I can do. Tea,
Thank you.
I must check. One moment.
well, I don't see him around here anywhere. He might be sleeping.
Do you want to
It
wait
happens.
for a little bit?
You hear a
Miss
voice.
the opportunity of waking him up prematurely?
You hear the person slumped over the bar say, "Or else you're blind." Do you know how little I put into this disguise? And seriously, I'm ashamed, boy.
Well,
Oh,
it's such a
man.
bad disguise. I figured somebody like you would be clever enough to do it much better. So I assumed
dear.
it wasn't you because it's so awful.
And let that be a lesson to you, boy. Don't overestimate people.
How are you?
Tired.
Really?
Well, I usually sleep much later, but I heard you were in town. Stalking after
Just got
some
in.
silver-haired elf.
Yeah, well,
And
we all have our thing.
mm-hmm. She didn't seem all too happy to see you, boy.
Yeah. That's not unusual either.
That's
Hey,
just Cigarette.
So,
Lady Zoreth.
since you heard that we were in town, I am assuming you also know why we're in town.
I have absolutely no idea why you're in town. Mike, make a perception check.
I also tilted my head because
21.
oh yeah.
21. You notice him. He's, as he's saying this, he's leaning back and kind of cocking his head and smirking a little bit, doing everything he can to pull attention to his face. His fingers make a certain sign.
Okay. I just kind of, I keep my eye contact with him and I kind of nod a little bit.
Well,
we are here on a mission to weed out any.
Should we be a little quieter?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea, Aribell.
I have those ones.
I find tea. At least I believe this is tea. It looks like little leaves.
I lean over in Arimynn's ear and I say, "Don't forget the fancy thieves thing sign back." Very quietly. I whisper.
Duncan.
Not hissed, but like legit whisper.
He says, he sits the box down in front of you and says, "That is tea, I believe. I don't know if it is good tea. You tell me."
Does it look like
Either
tea?
tea or tobacco, I'm not sure.
It's tea.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, if you have some hot water, I will see if it's good.
Absolutely. He turns around, grabs a towel, grabs a kettle off a stove in the corner, and pours a mug full. Sits it back down, brings the mug over, reaches down behind the bar, pulls up a spoon, looks at it, grabs a towel, wipes it off.
Jeff, while he's doing all of this,
Okay.
I kind of gesture the sign back to Allian
Okay.
while everyone's eyes are distracted.
All right. Oh, yeah. You see, to anyone else, his expression wouldn't change, but you know his face. You know how to read
Okay.
him fairly well. You see his eyes widen just the slightest bit, and then you see that knowing smirk that you came to know and hate. And he says, "Well, well, well. Let's go grab a booth."
Sounds like a good plan. Let's bring this tea with us, huh?
What else to drink for the rest of you?
Ooh, I would like tea as well.
Okay. So he pours another.
Arimynn turns and looks at Tasha. Really? All I've ever seen you drink is ale.
I can learn.
We have that. We have lots of ale.
Yes. Tea first, then ale.
Okay.
What time is it?
It's like 9 o'clock in the morning.
Exactly.
You have food.
Do you have anything sweet? That's what I was just going to ask.
I think we have crackers.
Oh, God.
Oh, this is a legit tavern, not a food and beverage establishment. It is a beverage establishment.
Yes.
Beverage
But we
and
have
beverage.
crackers.
Oh, I will pass on the crackers. Thank you.
Oh, crackers.
Go over to a booth and sit down.
All right.
I'll take the tea and
This is one of them circle booths, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I slide over to the middle.
Allian's the last one in, and he pulls the privacy curtain. Sits down and says, "So, it appears I owe Viessa 10 gold.
Yeah, well, she's better looking than you are.
Oh, I'm well aware.
I don't necessarily know. Last time we talked, you said he should meet with her and choose this. This was not really chosen. This was thrust upon us.
But he agreed. Something I thought he would never do. So, I
Well,
owe her.
let's just say she had a better deal than the
Army.
was apparently going to bestow on me. So
You see him kind of lean back. This time his eyes get wide enough for everybody to see. What did you do?
we were effective. And-
Oh, the other end of the spectrum from what I was thinking. Oh, equally as
Yes.
dangerous, but not as bad.
And no less fun.
Oh, indeed.
They made a name for themselves.
I don't believe we've met. I am Allian Parawin. It was my great joy to teach this one. And he holds
Oh,
his
I'm
hand
sure
up.
it was a joy. And I take his hand and I say, Tasha Greenville, pleased to meet you.
He turns your hand over and kisses it.
Oh, that's adorable.
I like her.
Arimynn
Yes.
kind of looks over at Zoe, just shakes his head with a smirk.
They made a name for themselves. And maybe you haven't heard yet, but there are signs of war. Like the last big war.
No.
Or the
That
next
I have
big
not
war.
heard. What are these signs, and how do you know?
And this is Aribell. I point to Aribell, like fancy.
Yes, you brought a paladin to my table.
Oh, she's not that bad. She's a little squeaky, but she's okay.
I'm only a paladin in training.
So
Not for long.
Viessa would be the one who gave us our intelligence.
I see. Perhaps that's why the army was interested in you.
They're interested in everybody right now.
So noted. I'll put dodging army press gangs on my list of things to do for the week.
It's a hobby.
Yeah, watch your back for dragons and orcs too.
Ooh. That
That would be why they're recruiting.
That's not something I would be particularly effective against, I'm afraid.
So Viessa had a counter proposal that she thinks or believes that the what are those guys called? Ball sacks? What?
Jagravana?
Jagravana
Yes.
have sleeper agents here in the continent,
Wait,
and she
boy.
wants us to try to.
She's sending you to Thunder's Edge.
Yep. Maybe we didn't make a good first impression, and she's sending me to my death. I don't know, but that's the gig.
Thunder's Edge is unlike any other place in Aecathan. It truly is the oddest combination of a cosmopolitan setting and a frontier town that I've ever visited.
Well, that sounds interesting.
Lots of law and order and no sense of humor.
Oh dear.
Not your kind of place.
Doesn't sound like it.
We'll have to mind our P's and Q's.
Who did she send you to meet?
There's
Gilliam Cobblewick.
Wiggy, of course. Well, if anyone knows their way in and around law and order in the Edge, it's Wiggy.
Oh, that's good.
Piggy. Is there that much class difference between the outer enclave and the inner enclave?
It's not so much a class distinction as it is proving yourself. Only those trusted by the Rakeliad are allowed through to the inner enclave. And how you become trusted by the Rakeliad, I couldn't hazard to begin to tell you. You might think of it as
While we're talking,
the outer enclave exists in Aecathan. The inner enclave exists solely unto itself. It's almost like a second country within.
what do you know, possibly unrelated to all of this, about these bandit raids in and around Aecathan? Trade routes, the river?
There's a new player. I've yet to find out who it is. Apparently they consider me a threat. And
Guess
well,
what?
they should. But
I believe we haven't made friends with them either.
you've had some run-ins.
Well, we wiped out one of their
So
cells and all but wiped out a second getting here.
How did you travel?
well,
You were on the Sprite.
Yes, they attacked. from
Water
the,
walking.
banks.
Well, the Sprite can outrun practically anyone.
Not when the engines are shut down.
they had a cleric. Gosh, what was which god was it? Rexstar.
Your group, but
They had a cleric of Rexstar with them.
Cast a spell magic on the engine and shut it down.
You're certain it was the clergy of Rexkar?
oh yeah.
I saw them break the symbol in half as they were falling to their death
Well,
and disappear.
We didn't see his symbol, but he cast a spiritual weapon, and it was the symbol of Rexstar. And the previous cell that we encountered had undead wandering around. So
I have heard that the Prairie Sea is now home to wandering undead.
We've seen it twice now.
Well, someone's raising them.
Indeed.
And if it was a priest of Rexthar, they definitely are known to do that.
All right.
So
Well,
they disabled the sprite.
indeed.
Momentarily.
They were
Temporarily.
They were gunning for Casimiro's ship specifically then.
Yep.
She and I are going to have a chat. I don't like this.
They could use more protection on that ship.
It sounds as if you are correct. I will speak with the good captain and see if there's any aid I can offer. She's a good friend.
Let's just say if we weren't there, our little sprite wouldn't be around anymore.
Well,
It came with many. There
for
were
everyone's
almost
sake.
20.
What?
10, 6 or 8 on the shore and 10 on the water with water walking. And their magic caster.
Clever. I'll have to remember that. Might come in handy at some point. Walking on the water.
Well, perhaps, but coming across the water like that made them very easy targets.
Oh. Yes. Not a lot to hide behind out there. Good point. So she's sending you to the edge
Yes.
to look for Jogravan and agents.
Yep.
Sounds thrilling.
Life is never dull.
Well, it sounded better than joining the army and fighting dragons.
Yes. I think I can agree with that. Those of us who follow this particular line of work as you and I are not exactly well suited to large winged lizards that breathe destruction.
Well, my biggest problem was I don't know how to salute.
Oh, it's easy.
Right.
Oh, no, not that way.
Oh, by the way, she's army.
Do tell. And
Special branch.
Special branch. So, trying to remember. What was his name?
Warbender.
Ah, Ranmore. You're one of Ranmore's.
Yes, sir.
She has more in common with us, Arimynn, than I thought.
You have no idea.
Well, knowing Ranmore, I have some. We used to travel in the same circles once upon a time.
That does not surprise me.
And then he decided to go legit, as he put it.
Ish. Ish.
Everything he does is now sanctioned by the Lord Mayor of Erma, is it not?
Let me just say that he's a necessary
Everything
evil.
Yeah.
And if the High Mucky Mucks could find a way to not use him and his ilk, I'm sure they would.
I suspect you're right. Isn't it wonderful that there are some things that goodness and virtue simply cannot do?
Well, if that it's a good thing, because otherwise we'd be out of a job.
True. Well,
What was the previous owner's name of this place?
She said Roderick.
Roderick? You don't remember Roderick?
No, I don't remember Roderick. He would.
Oh, all right.
Right.
So, retired?
Yes.
Came into some money.
More like came into a beautiful blonde half-elf.
My.
All right.
So he found
I can
happiness
get behind
then.
that.
He seemed very happy.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Let's hope he stays happy after the money runs out.
Well, we'll see. From what I gathered, although he wouldn't admit it, I believe he was more smitten with the lass than her fortune.
Ah, that's lovely.
And surprising. I wouldn't have thought he had that mentality. But I guess some people you never know.
But he's got a type.
Fortunately, we got Duncan.
Yeah, he seems pretty legit.
He needs pastries, though.
I shall definitely pass that along to him. I'm certain that that you're drinking was not something he was all that aware of before you came in. He has a fairly singular mindset. He looks for casks. If he finds them, he doesn't look further.
So we have, we're in a enclosed space, right?
Yep.
And we have already talked about certain things. We have people who will meet us and help us once we get there.
Yes, Wiggy.
Yes, but there's things we don't know. How long does it take? Can you help us get travel? Horses and a carriage. We're kind of out of our element here at Costead's.
Horses I can definitely get you. Especially if you don't ask me where I got them.
He got them from the stables, Aribell. Don't worry about it.
I'm sure he did get them from the stables.
Yes, that's where they're from.
We don't necessarily need a carriage or anything like that. I mean, the four of us can ride, right?
That will be faster.
Yeah.
Dragging something behind the horses always tends to make you an easier target.
Yes.
Indeed. We already did that job.
Oh, I see.
Several times.
Well, yeah, I mean, we were trying to be an easy target.
Yeah.
That's how we got caught up with the bandit cell.
Oh. So you fought them before they attacked the sprite.
Different bandit.
Yes. Yep, a different cell.
But same.
Same
MO.
idea, I guess.
I think the same.
Yeah, we think
leadership.
it was the same crew.
It does appear that someone is organizing the various bandit groups on the Grass Sea.
Well, this one had a cleric. The other one was reporting and giving their goods to a woman in robes. So,
She
Someone
could be a
is-
We had a
cleric.
very large river.
yeah. So, wizards and clerics are not your typical bandit leaders.
No.
Have you traveled to Thunder's Edge before, personally?
I've been there a couple times.
How was the trip?
I was drunk for most of it, so I don't recall. I paid for
Sounds like the
passage.
preferable way.
How long
Yes.
were you drunk?
I beg your pardon.
How long were you drunk? So, how long did it take to get there?
A case and a half.
I like him.
And what size bottles were those?
Slightly smaller than wine bottles, filled with
Well-
something much more potent.
You would know
So if
how
you eat-
long it takes, right?
I've been told, depending on how fast you travel, it can take anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks.
Oof.
Well, on horseback, it should expedite it a bit.
Which
Depends on
way
if we
are you
run into more
going?
bandit.
Inland or through the wood?
Yes. Oh,
Where's my map of the Aecathan? We were going.
The Essa told you that the shortest route would be to leave the wave, cross the river, and go down
Yes.
through, I believe it's Forest Watch.
Yeah. So through the wood.
yeah, so that's what I tell him.
Ooh. Well, you'll have to tell me what it's like. I've never gone that route.
Thank you for your assumption that we will get back here to tell you.
Well, if I didn't have faith in
Of
you, I
course we'll
wouldn't have
make-
let you out of the house.
Mm.
Is he human or is he still in disguise?
Yeah, no, he's human. Basically, his disguise was he had on a little bit of makeup and a wig and just completely changed his posture. He had on a false nose.
Oh, okay.
So, with a napkin, he managed to take all that off, and he pulled the wig off. So, yeah, he's
How old
human.
does he seem to be?
Probably late 30s, early 40s. Sure. Make an insight check.
Me?
Yeah.
You're the one who asked.
Can I guide myself?
If you want to let him see you do it.
I'm studying him. Yeah. Not too bad. Insight. 23.
You get the sense that the ne'er-do-well, daring rascal is a little bit of a front. Behind it is someone who is both weary and wise because of way too much experience with the world. He notices you studying him and just kind of shivers briefly. Looks at Arimynn and says, "Ugh. How do you put up with that look? It's unsettling."
For 20
He
charisma
looks-
doesn't hurt.
He looks at Zorth and he goes, "You get used to it."
I wrinkle up my eyes at him.
I suppose, if necessary, one can get used to anything.
Yeah, well,
I think that you, of all people, would understand the importance of figuring out who you're dealing with. Sure, it's one of your tricks of your trade.
Yes, we call it casing.
See, maybe you can teach me to be a thief.
a thief. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, sorry. Rogue. Dashing. Is that better?
Adventurer.
Mm.
I'm already an adventurer.
We're going to Thunder's Edge, right? So we'll be going through River's Watch.
Yes.
Forest Watch is
Yes.
more northwest. It's got all the autumn-looking trees.
Yes, you'll be going through River's Watch.
The autumn-looking trees.
And then
Trees.
the path leads through the southern section of the Everwood and then to Thunder's Edge.
Everwood.
I'm sorry if I made you uncomfortable. It wasn't my intent.
I've had encounters with those of your profession before. In fact, one of them is here.
I turned.
One of them is here in the wave.
He's here now?
Right now, yes.
The drunk one.
No. No, I sincerely doubt that alcohol has ever passed those stern, pursed lips.
Oh, it was that other person.
To be fair,
No,
there's
not the
more
bar.
than one kind of paladin.
Yes. But I have most experience with those coming across the lake.
That's where I trained.
Yes, I could tell.
Actually, you said there's a paladin here in town?
Yes. Traveling with some old gnome.
Father Delvis.
I don't know his name. I stayed as
mentor.
far away from them as I could.
Where did you see them?
Oh, they're staying at the monstrosity like everyone else in town.
The
Is that
monstrosity?
the
Oh,
Woodman's Rest?
you haven't been here in a while. You know, the large field south of the second dock. It's usually where Casimiro docks her ship.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a large field any longer. There is a 3-story monstrosity there now that calls itself the Platinum Hammer.
Well, that's rather
Ostentatious,
Descrip-
pompous,
descriptive.
arrogant. Any of those will work.
Alrighty then.
What about the...
Since when does that offend you?
I would suspect it's when he doesn't get any money out of it.
You would suspect correctly. I really do like her. Ranmore's done well with you. Yes, I have done my best to find a way into that establishment for a little piece. And I have yet to figure it out, and it vexes me.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
Well,
It's
I
like-
should probably make my way there.
Everyone on their staff has been trained to look out for, well, people like me.
Oh. Rude.
Well, then perhaps
Especially
you should.
in
people like
my
you.
city.
Indeed. That's an affront.
Perhaps
Yes.
you should employ people like me
Well,
instead of people like you.
I have thought of burning it down.
Well, that would be counterproductive. You still wouldn't get any money out of it.
No, but at least I wouldn't have to look at it.
It's an eyesore.
No,
You see.
No,
but
it's
you would
all-
probably get a lot of attention with that.
It's all clean
Oh
and
dear.
well kept. It stands out like an eyesore here in the wave.
Like a beacon that says, please attack us.
Yes, which is why I think no one would be surprised if it were to catch fire and burn to the ground.
Probably not.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm sure the
You
orcs
annoy-
will come for it eventually.
I didn't mean to annoy him, though.
I know, that's what makes it brilliant.
From your beautiful lips to Balmuth's ears, let it be
Ugh.
so.
So mote it be.
Father Delbus wouldn't know you're coming, but I'm sure he'd be excited to see you.
He knows I'm coming. We spoke when I was on the ship.
Oh.
He sent me a message. He was waiting here. He'd meet me here there was someone he wanted me to meet. Must be the paladin that your friend spoke of.
Oh,
Very likely.
Mm.
Oh, you're in for such a good time.
Well,
That's good news.
If you like a good time.
let's talk about the trip and the travel arrangements, or shall we meet you tomorrow? I mean, we do need to get on the road.
Very well. I will see what I can do. Meet me back here tomorrow at, say, 11.
So you can get a decent amount of sleep.
Exactly. Much as I like the boy, I'm only
And
getting up
maybe-
this early once.
And maybe we can find ourselves a good warm meal too. Probably be the last one for a while.
Is the other inn still open, or did the monstrosity put them out of business?
The monstrosity put them out of business. Another reason I dislike it.
So there's only one inn?
Yes.
Oh dear. So we're going to have to stay there.
Yes.
Unless we sleep on the ship tonight.
Yeah, I was actually thinking just to be safe, maybe.
That's actually a good idea. We should protect the ship.
Yes, I would prefer not having friends and associates of friends spending their money on that place. At least not
was
until I
planning on
figure out
going
how to
there,
get
no.
my hands on some of it.
Going where in the middle of the night?
To the Sprite.
Oh, yeah, we'll go. We'll just stay there.
Did you catch that, Zorith?
No, what? No.
Arimynn said, that's okay, I was planning on going to the Sprite in the middle of the night anyway.
I might have heard it, but I don't think I tried to ignore it.
If you're thinking of visiting Silverhair, take your sword.
I don't go anywhere without my swords.
Ew.
Not that kind of. My goodness, girl.
Yes.
You mean,
In-
ooh.
In case you're not aware, it's anatomically impossible for some of us to go without that particular
I understand.
sword.
It's my brother. I don't want to talk about it, though. Gross.
I had any complaint about my swords.
God, stop! And I like get up and like walk back to the bar.
You started it.
Children.
Sisters, no sense of humor.
I walk out to the bar and I ask him, I walk out to the bar.
You are done. You did not get anything to drink. Can I offer you something?
Do you have cider?
I will check. Turns around and walks to the back.
Hard cider. Well,
He comes back out with a kind of a clay jug. And he says, This is apple something. I can tell from the scent, but I do not know exactly what it is. But if you want to try it, there it is. He sits it down and sits a mug down.
Does it smell like apple cider or apple vinegar?
It smells like apple cider.
But it's hard cider.
Possible it might just be starting to turn.
I will. How much of it is there? Like a whole?
Yeah, basically like a carafe.
Oh, a carafe. Oh,
Yeah.
God, I don't need the whole carafe. I ask him for a glass.
Well, he put a glass down next to it.
Oh. I'll pour some out and like enough to make like a fat shooter size.
Okay.
How does it go down?
Fairly smooth. It is apple cider, and it is right on the edge of beginning to turn, but it hasn't yet.
Oh, not hard cider? I was like an ale cider thing.
Oh, no, this is actual apple cider.
Oh, well then I pour myself a big glass. I was expecting like cider ale.
Phew.
Nope. It will be in another week.
I said this is cider without alcohol in it. Although it's getting ready to turn to vinegar soon. But I will drink this, thank you. And how much is it?
Oh, you are friends of Arimynn. He's on house.
I take it and the carafe back to
And
the table
drink.
and sit down.
Because there's no food here but crackers.
Do you want crackers?
No. But thank you.
All right.
I come back and I sit my carafe and my cider down.
Found something to your liking, did you?
I would like to do the.
Yeah.
Call it.
Well, if I'm going to find
The
you
plat-
4 horses along with tack and saddles, I'd probably best get busy. I have some
You need
favors
some
to call
money?
in.
I was just going to ask that.
I doubt it's going to cost me anything, so no.
I like him.
You'll send Viessa the bill, I'm sure.
All right.
Well, then we'll see you tomorrow.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
It was an experience. Meeting you all.
Likewise, I'm sure.
Tasha, if you ever tire of the army, come see me.
Oh, great. Someone else who wants to recruit me. Nice to meet you.
Well, I could do that too.
You're a dirty old man. I like you.
I tell everybody that it's just cider that I brought in case they want some cider instead, like to, with their tea. And then I drink like a glass of it.
And you see Alimon go, what? Apple cider?
Regular, non-alcoholic apple cider.
What was
It's
that?
almost on the verge, but it's really good.
What was that doing back there?
Fermenting.
Almost
Fermenting.
turning.
Interesting. Well, I assume someday Duncan will know what actually sits in his stores. And won't that be fun? Well, I must be
Well,
off.
I
Couldn't have said it better myself.
get up and walk back over to the bar and pull out a gold piece, hand it to Duncan.
No,
Will this cover our-
You're friends of Arimynn. He's on the house.
You won't make any money that way.
Yeah, I don't do this for everybody. Most people, I charged up the nose.
And I say, keep your money. We're going to need it.
Duncan, I like your style.
Thank you. Please come
Walk
back
out.
again.
Thank you. We will. Thank you for the
And I
tea.
say, thank you, Duncan. And I leave.
Is something wrong with her eye?
And before we go, I tell Duncan, once you find out what's in the casket, you should take a charcoal and mark on there X or an N for non-alcoholic and an X for alcohol. It'll help you keep them
You should
straight.
just
Oh,
you should buy that cask,
It's a good
Zori,
idea.
and then by the,
it's very good idea.
on the trip it'll turn.
I think I will start doing that now.
Start with this one. It was good, but it was on its way to not being good.
How much longer can I sell it?
2 days.
Yeah,
Then
probably.
don't you want to wait 3 weeks and then sell it?
No, it turns to vinegar.
Yeah.
No one drinks vinegar.
No.
Well, most people don't drink vinegar. Well,
No.
some people don't drink vinegar.
Arimynn just walked out the door.
Like less than a week. But
Right.
charcoal.
To the monstrosity.
Right.
That'll help.
He reaches under the counter and pulls out a slate and a piece of chalk and starts writing special apple cider.
Right, there you go.
Nice.
And then we head off to the Platinum Hammer.
All right.
No, were we going to the Platinum Hammer?
That's where Father Delbus
I have
is.
to meet. You
Okay.
don't have to go. You don't have to go.
Really? Like, I'm going to let you go to the Platinum Hammer by yourself.
I know, right?
I'm gonna go meet with a cleric and
You'll forgive me if I don't accompany you there. There's nothing there that interests me at all.
Oh, come on. We can heckle. It'll be fun.
Father Dilbus is Diarla's uncle.
Well, I'll send her my condolences next time I see her.
He's a very kind man.
A very what?
Kind man.
Kind man.
Alrighty.
While we walked wherever we're
So-
walking,
I foresee a break, maybe?
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. While we're walking, we
Yep.
should break.
This is an excellent time for a break.
Hey,
10 minutes.
So, yep, 10 minutes. We'll be back. So,
I was trying to pause
go,
Zoom. You
go-
can't
Go
pause.
do something fun.
BRB.
BRB.
And welcome back. That 10 minutes goes by quick.
So quickly.
Mm-hmm. But hey, lots of interesting stuff also going on here on this Twitch channel. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern U.S. time, Mike and I will be on for another episode of GM Chat. I'd love to tell you what we're talking about yet, but we haven't decided. So
Actually, I have an idea. So
I have a couple ideas too, but we just haven't had time to talk about it yet. We usually do that after we're done on Tuesday nights. Tomorrow night, again, 7 p.m. Eastern U.S. time, it's back to the dark side. Star Wars The Old Republic. 2 Sith and a grumpy bounty hunter for your entertainment.
we chop them, you shoot them.
Yup.
Opposite of Aribell is what
And
I play in.
boy, do I have fun with the shooting part.
No, you have purple lightsabers. You're still Aribell.
I'm evil Aribell. You can be evil and like purple. Yeah,
See,
one pretty thing.
I'm evil and I like purple.
That's true. It's
You're not
real.
evil. You're not evil.
But if you can, be sure to tune in for those. I think you'll enjoy them. All right. So, the rest of the day is yours.
I am
You
heading
wanted
to the
to-
platinum.
Yes, head to the Platinum Hammer. Okay.
Is there any restaurants around or places that serve food
Sure.
that I know of in town?
Sure.
All right. I put my arm around Zori and almost in a headlock and say, "Come on, I know where I can get you some food."
I go with her. I go with him. What about her?
I stick with Aribell.
Excellent. I go get food.
Okay.
She's far too nice to be left alone.
All right.
I pull the the long sword, and say, "This tends to help when people don't take to me being nice."
Uh-huh. But you miss some subtleties that I'm here for.
Well, I appreciate the company.
All right.
Anytime.
So you make your way back to the road leading from where the ship docked. And you
Yep.
continue along the road. And you find yourself standing in front of a huge building, festooned with a gleaming platinum hammer on a sign attached to the front of the building. This rather imposing looking 3-story building seems to be made of wood and brick with a bright orange tile roof. It's the only one you've seen in town.
That's orange?
Yep. There is a double door leading into the center of the building, and there are large windows visible on all 3 floors.
Well, this must
hate
be
to
the
do
place.
Right about anything, but this is kind of garish.
Subtlety is
Go
not
inside.
their forte. I follow her.
Okay. You walk in.
And I go soldier.
All right. Well, you walk in, and the inside is as bright and clean as the outside. You can see the main support beams of the building in the walls, but every other part of the wall is white plaster. The tables are all finely varnished and polished wood, as are the chairs, and the chairs all have seat cushions. The room is actually quite well lit. Even with the light coming in the windows, you wouldn't think it would be quite this bright. You look up, and there are 3 large chandeliers, 3-tier chandeliers, and each tier contains candles that seem much brighter than normal, and yet you cannot see or smell any smoke coming off them.
That must have cost a pretty penny.
Magic.
Coin.
Maybe.
Yep. And you see, taking up the center third of the back wall, an enormous, polished, dark wood bar. Stools out front, and you see 3 or 4 people scurrying around behind. There are tables and booths all over this main chamber, and you see on either end 2 staircases going up.
Do you see your person?
Yeah, do I see Father Dilbus in the dining area?
Yes, actually you do.
I get a big smile on my face and head that way.
I follow her.
All right. You see a small male gnome, old enough that all of his hair has gone white. He's got kind of that bald top, the hair ringing around and hanging down a little bit, full beard and mustache, white as well, sitting there,
Kind of picture.
sipping a cup of what you would imagine is tea. And
Does anyone else picture the dungeon master from the old D&D cartoon? 'Cause I do.
with a full beard, that would not be the worst comparison.
Robes and is he with someone?
Yes, there is a rather stern-looking half-elf woman, platinum blonde hair, which is worn long, except for the hair from the temples is tied back in a braid.
Okay.
And she's dressed in loose pants, a collared shirt, a dark blue vest, and she's currently finishing what looks to have been a plate of mostly meat.
I walk over to the table. Father Dilbus.
She looks up and sees the two of you approaching just before you get there and say that, and you see her hand immediately go to the hilt of a longsword.
I raise my eyebrow
Huh?
at her. Say,
We come
Father
in peace.
Dilbus.
Oh, it's lovely to see you. Please sit, and introduce me to your friend.
This is one of my traveling companions, Tasha Greenvale.
Nice to meet you, sir.
How do you do?
Pleased to meet you.
I am Father Dilbus Piwignick.
Pleased to meet you.
Did you travel here on the Sprite?
I squeeze him on the arm. We did.
Ah, and how is Iala?
She's doing very well.
Excellent. Very, very.
They're staying in town for a couple of days.
Are you really?
Sure, she'd like to see you.
Well, I shall definitely head down and see if I can find her. That would be lovely. She's usually just in and then back on the water. I hope nothing's wrong.
This Sprite's been running into a few issues.
Oh dear. Well, that young woman that works on the ship, the one that made the ship. She's a bright young woman, I'm sure.
Sigrid?
Is that her name? I don't think I've ever met her.
Yeah, she actually, that's one of the things I wanted to ask you about. The ship was attacked when we were traveling.
Oh dear. Is everyone all right?
And yes, we were able to repel the bandits, but they had a cleric with them.
The bandits did.
The bandits.
Oh,
I believe of Rexthar.
You see him get a little pale. And
they were able to cast dispel magic on the ship's engine.
Oh, that's...
leaving it dead in the water.
How could they know that would work? I didn't even realize that sort of thing would work.
No. So Sigrid is at the Obsidian Wand trying to do some research, but I wondered if you knew of anything that might be able to ward off a dispel magic spell.
Well, nothing springs to mind immediately, but I would be happy to pray on it. Perhaps
I appreciate that.
Turaura would grant me a vision, especially since my niece is aboard that vessel. Oh,
And we'd certainly want it falling in the hands of the Jagravanans.
Where are my manners? I'm not completely awake yet. Aribell, it's my pleasure to introduce you to someone you will come to know quite well. This is Sir Arlo Wimark. And the woman kind of cleans her mouth and then says, Sir Arlo Wimark, at your service.
Arlo?
Arlo. E-R-E-L-O.
Uh-oh.
I am known as Arlo the Just.
Here. That's weird.
It's muted.
No, it's not. My sound went away.
Lost our audio.
Get to the...
That's not good.
Oh, wait.
There we go. That's weird. Where did my sound go?
Uh-oh.
The eternal question.
I've never lost mine.
Oh,
So.
that went out, didn't it?
Can you guys hear us?
Yes.
Yes.
That's weird.
I thought of just doing nothing but saying yes, but then I thought,
Brule.
yeah, they probably won't
Weird.
understand that.
Well, they came back for a minute.
For a second.
Oh.
They're like,
Aren't computers fun?
I can hear the cricket just fine. But
That's
I was
funny.
trying
I can hear our
turn it
cricket
up,
just
but-
fine as well.
Yeah, well,
I
there's
was
two
trying
of
to
them.
turn it up.
So
Oh, they have one's got
Stereo.
a girlfriend now. That's
no,
nice.
that's the problem. They're both males, and they seem to be locked in some sort of mating contest, and there are no female crickets as far as I know.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
Maybe you should find them a female cricket.
maybe
Or
I should
two.
just...
Really?
If I could catch them, I would take them outside.
Oh, that's funny. Really?
All
No little
right.
crickets on the
So,
way?
Araloo, is that what it was?
Arelo, E-R-E-L-O. She says, I am known as Sir Arelo the Just. And apparently, you are now to be under my tutelage.
Oh.
I look at Father Dilbus in surprise.
There, as you well know, there are two separate orders to the clergy of Turaura. I see to the novitiates of the clergy. But as you have chosen to go a more protective and militant route, your training therefore falls under Arelo's purview. I, of course, will always be here should you need to talk. But I fear that I am woefully inadequate to train you on this new path. I don't think I've ever held a sword, let alone understand how to use it to do more than draw maps in the dirt.
He's so cute.
He's the best. Well, I smile at Arlo and
Say it's very nice to meet you.
Indeed. Father Dilbus tells me that you have progressed enough to take your vows.
Really?
Yes, child. I have heard of some of your encounters, and word has gotten back to me from Erma. Apparently you have made quite the impression upon that city.
See? Reputation.
Yes.
we've just tried to help where we.
And quite an impression, and one that I'm not entirely certain is appropriate. So,
Really?
there will be some testing. If you pass, I shall administer the oath myself. But that is why we have traveled
Whatever you
here.
think appropriate.
First light tomorrow morning.
All right.
30 minutes east.
Where shall I?
30 minutes east of the wave, on the banks of the river. Come prepared for combat.
Did you phone a friend?
And come
Right?
alone.
Oh,
I'm not there.
damn
I'm-
it. I wanted to go. I wanted to go.
They come alone. Our sound is terrible right now.
Yep, she said to come alone.
She said, "Come alone." Okay.
Ooh.
I will do my best not to disappoint you.
Do your best not to disappoint him. If you'll excuse me. She nods to Father Dilbus and gets up, sits her napkin down, and walks towards one of the staircases.
I'm glad I'm not there. And my brother.
I don't like her.
Be glad Arimynn's not there.
She's kind of your type, though. Like
Yes,
platinum
and
blonde.
my brother. I'm glad we're both not there.
Oh, good God.
Well, she means well. She has a good heart. But
Where does she keep it?
oh,
Encased in
jar.
stone.
very
On her
droll.
desk.
Your friend is very
Sure.
droll.
Turaura wouldn't have chosen her if she didn't have a good heart. So I will trust the lady.
She is responsible for much more earthly duties than I. I am responsible
seem-
for souls. She is responsible for bodies. And it is a task she takes quite seriously.
Clearly.
To be honest, I would not want someone in her position who was frivolous with her duties. So while I may not always approve of her methods, her goals are sound.
Hmm.
Oh.
And
Sounds like I'll be lucky to have her
yes,
to teach me. But I'd like to think that I'm better for your teachings first.
you are very kind to say so. I hope you do as well as I think you can. Do not doubt yourself, child. Turaura has
Will you be
led
there?
you- No. It is between you and Sir Wimmock. But I will say a prayer for you.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thank you.
Yeah, except in this world they actually do something.
Mm.
Hey.
Well, let me rephrase that. They actually do something tangible and evident.
But don't.
Hey.
Like, casting spiritual weapon manifests a huge glowing weapon of something. So,
I will give you that.
spiritual guardians create that cloud of whatever you ask for. Everyone can see it. So, it's a little different.
All right.
That's all I mean.
People do that around here. We, block them up.
Yeah.
And study them.
How
Roswell.
did you do that? Can you do it again?
The thing to remember is there is no spoon.
Right, exactly.
I'm sure she has a lot on her mind. There's much going on in Aecathan at the moment.
Yes, I have heard. But
We're headed to the Thunder's Edge.
oh my goodness. What has happened that you travel so far, my child? That is a lengthy,
I look
dangerous
around. Are we
journey.
kind of...
Yeah, there's nobody else around you. It's still pre-lunch.
We've been tasked to find out if the Jagravanans have sent spies into Aecathan.
Well, I believe I can save you the trip if that...
Well, I should say we know that they have, but we're trying to
If
find
that priest was in fact Rexgarian, they have certainly come.
Yeah, we think they're in a couple different places, so we're trying to find out information.
To what end?
To find out if they're assisting with the other
orcs
front
and the
that's coming,
dragons.
the dragons and the orc,
Oh no.
if there's coordination.
And an army.
Oh dear. Turaura, save us. I had hoped I would not see that again in my lifetime.
Well, we'll do whatever we can. But
Well, I suppose it is good that you will be quite far from the coast. Because if this is to come to pass, that is likely where it will once again begin.
There's already talk
do you
of people being conscripted into the army.
So Lord Bonething does feel an attack is imminent. That is not good news. But
do you know of Viessa Vex? Do you know her?
no, I can't say that I do. Who is she?
Oh, the informant that sent us on our task. I just didn't know if you knew anything about her.
No, I can't say I've heard that name before. But it is good to know, because if we are in fact heading for war again, we will need to be ready.
Especially if it's coming on two fronts.
Yes. I'm certain we will be receiving an official notification and a request for aid.
I suppose I should let you get to your day, and I have much to prepare for tomorrow.
He reaches out and puts his hand over one of yours and says, "Keep Turaura focused in your heart, and you will succeed." She also guides who steps into the blade as those who heal the wounds from the blade.
She's been with me the entire time.
Of course. And she always will be. Turaura bless you, my child. I look forward to hearing reports of your oath.
Thank you for believing in me.
Always. He pats
My
your
hand on
and
top of his and squeezes it.
he looks at Tasha and says, "It was a pleasure meeting you, young lady."
Likewise. Thank you very much for meeting me. And for being so kind to her.
How could anyone not be? Enjoy your day. He gets up
I lean
and
over and kiss him on the cheek.
he just gets up and walks up the same set of stairs that Arlo went up.
He's the best.
We need to get you some food.
As
Well, I
if,
had oatmeal
as
this
if
morning.
by magic, a waiter walks over. Welcome to the Platinum Hammer. Can I get you anything? I see your friends have finished, but you're still serving.
What do you have?
Oh, well. We're headed into lunch. I think we still got some eggs. Definitely got some bacon. Potatoes, fruit, bread, cheese. I think we've got some pear juice.
My treat. You're gonna need some fuel for tomorrow.
didn't hear what they said. Anything,
Egg.
fine. Potatoes.
Right?
Some
Egg,
tea.
potato, and fruit.
Egg, potato, fruit. Anything to drink?
Tea.
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 We have a fairly nice green tea. And we have a much darker tea if you're needing a little pick-me-up. I'd recommend the darker tea.
A darker place.
All right.
Me too.
All right. 2 power teas coming up.
I look around to see if I notice anything about this place. Does it seem like it's really on the up and up?
Make a perception check.
Ooh. 26.
26. All right. You, with a practiced eye, look around for any signs that anything is not what it seems. And you're actually very surprised to see nothing that triggers your sense of there being something wrong. You don't see the usual like dust and dirt in the corners of a place that isn't really cleaned as well as it appears. The silverware and plates and goblets and mugs all look actually quite nice, decent quality, and everybody seems to be happy. They seem to be efficient. All in all, it seems to be exactly as it appears. And it's a
Alrighty.
little disconcerting because you've been in a lot of places and you've seen a lot of people trying to, put up a false front to attract clientele that maybe they don't really deserve. This place looks like it's at the level that could cater functions for royalty. And yet, it's just an inn. You do wonder, with a 26, you do wonder as you look around how much money it costs to build this place.
Does the guy come back with our tea?
Yep.
I haven't been to the Wave in a bit, but I don't remember this place even being under construction the last time I was here. How long have you been open?
We've been open about 2 weeks, a little less than 2 weeks. Construction went pretty quick. There was a huge crew working on it.
And who owns the Platinum Hammer?
Not entirely sure who owns it.
That one guy. That one guy.
Bella runs it.
Bella?
Yeah, Bella Brightmoon. And he jerks his thumb, and you see a rather well-dressed halfling, young, walking along chatting with one of the servers.
Have I heard of Bella?
Make a history check.
Can I make one too from my time here?
Sure.
22.
All right, 22.
Oh, wait.
That I know everything.
You what?
I'm thinking I know a lot. Let me double check. I'm not sure if it's a 9 or a 10. My screen. 9. 9. Yeah.
Okay. Neither of you.
Mm.
This name means nothing to you.
Alrighty.
All right.
Okay.
I'll
Sorry, Mike's assaulting me with his chair.
be back in a couple minutes with your food. Enjoy the tea.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's so strange. And they already put places out of business in a couple of weeks.
So somebody with very deep pockets who possibly had a magical assist put this place up in a very short amount of time.
Yes.
And everything in here is so clean that it sparkles.
Well, it has only been open for 2 weeks, and the cleanliness doesn't really bother me. I mean, I am used to that, but
This is a little cleaner than we're used to, honestly. And I work for the army. Everything must be spick and span.
well, my mother expects her house to be this clean.
Okay, yes, but this is a tavern.
Well, an inn.
Fine, it's an inn, but
Right.
most inns are not this clean.
No. It's a little strange.
It's more than a little strange. And
I wouldn't. Father Dilbus and Sir Erlo would frequent a place if it was nefarious of any kind, you know.
I'm not saying it's nefarious necessarily. I just wonder if it's a front for something. Because I don't know if they could possibly make enough money in this town to pay off how much it costs to make this and keep it running like this.
Costead's Wave is a pretty bustling merchant port, and all of the traffic to the sanctum comes through here. So every cleric and paladin of the 3 good deities trains here. It's a lot of money.
Does it seem like they would be able to make enough money to keep this place running and pay off their debts? I'm asking you, Jeff.
You don't know. You don't know enough about the economy of Costead's Wave to know for sure one way or another.
Okay.
Well, and the town has been trying, right? I mean, we know it's kind of still that frontier town, right? Is that who said that earlier? But it's still trying to become this like metropolis. So
No, that was talking about where we're going, right?
I thought
Yep.
here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Costead's
okay.
Wave has always been a trading port, but it seems to be a little busier than it was the last time you came through here. You actually saw, as you were walking around town, several ships other than the Sprite docked. The first time you were here, the Sprite was the only ship that was docked. Now, it could just be that this is just the right time that the normal number of ships are in port, or it could be an indication that things are picking up. You're not entirely sure.
If there's war coming, Arma might be stocking up on supplies, which would increase trade.
So is it possible that somebody knows that war is coming and is trying to profit off of it?
The
That would
easiest
never happen.
way to make money, right? Profit off
Right.
the misfortune of others.
Right. I don't know. Something about this place just doesn't seem right to me. It's a little
Or,
too good to be true.
Someone puts bandits out on the main travel routes and drives all the trade to the sea where they control it, and then they get all the money coming in.
That's an interesting theory.
But I'm suspicious by nature. Not really. I tend to see the best in everyone. But being around Arimynn has really made me question everything.
All right.
He doesn't trust anybody with money.
Got your food for you.
Thank you.
Here you go. Gonna get you anything else?
Not right now.
All right.
This
Enjoy.
looks lovely. Thank you.
The food is good. Like, clearly somebody who takes food preparation seriously made this food.
All right.
I appreciate that.
Me too. Because it tastes good.
Yep.
So, as I'm eating, I say, which brings me to Lady Just. I don't like her at all.
I don't know her well enough to like her or not, but she's quite different than Father Dilbus.
She basically insinuated that you weren't good enough to be in their order.
Wow. I mean, often she probably gets the opportunity to train those who are going to take the path that I'm on now, and she might not have much confidence in someone who spent years training to become a cleric who suddenly decided to pick up a sword.
You can't be the only person in your order who's changed paths.
No, but might not give off the aura of someone who she typically trains.
Aribell, make a religion check for me.
Maybe she's not used to that.
Huh?
Make a religion check for me.
I couldn't hear you.
Make a religion check for me.
$25.
You do know from listening to people talk in the sanctum that it is not uncommon for people who are attempting the path of the paladin to switch and become members of the clergy instead. It is, however, very rare that someone from the clergy makes the transfer over to the militant side of the church. So what you're attempting to do is
it's usually the people that wash are paladins.
Yeah.
I'm one of the few that's attempted this, I believe. But this is where Turaura led me, and so I have faith that I'll prevail tomorrow in whatever test she has, because this is where I'm supposed to be. And if I don't, then I misinterpreted the signs.
No, I've seen you move. You didn't misinterpret anything.
She doesn't know me, and I don't know her. So, but I'll trust that we're both where we're supposed to be.
I'm going to tell you something that I don't tell most people. I'm actually technically a paladin of Dressfiend.
Yes. You're a bard of Dressfiend. And
We're the chosen ones.
yes. Did you study at the Sanctum?
Did I study at the Sanctum? Nope. Everything about my path has not gone the way it was supposed to go. I was supposed to be one thing and then I became another about 3 times.
Basically, you found your path to Dressfiend when you first met Ranmore.
Okay.
He's the one who saw the potential in you and
Battery
sort of
100%.
guided
Connected
you.
to LAPTOP LA3D20N.
Nice.
That was weird.
He basically guided you into this path because he sensed in you a kindred spirit.
So take it from me.
In here.
Just because people tell you that what you're doing can't be possible doesn't mean that it is. And trust your gut and the feelings that you get from your God.
I'm not sure she
And-
can hear you.
We lost our sound. We'll be right back.
Oh no. I'm saying all sorts of craziness.
Mm-hmm. All sorts of good stuff.
Yeah,
Well-
well.
Well, yeah, that won't work either. I was going to say, while we're waiting, we can switch to Arimynn and Zorth, but
Nope.
But
that won't
no.
work either.
Nope.
Headphones.
Uh-huh. So, yeah, tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern U.S. time, GM chat with Mike and I.
So weird.
Not entirely sure what we're going to talk about, but we'll figure
Not
it out.
sure. Not
All right,
entirely sure
we're
you'll
back.
be able to talk to you. Oh, yes.
Oh, good. Okay.
A little better.
We now
So-
return you to your regularly scheduled game already in progress.
As I was saying,
Sorry.
I have changed my path several times. And many times, well, every time, someone has tried to tell me that I couldn't possibly be doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing. And to heck with those people. If you believe in yourself and you believe in your God, then you can do whatever you're destined to, regardless of what people's expectations are. And I've seen you move. You can do this. And you're probably meant to do it. So believe in yourself. Even if this crazy, paladin-y type person doesn't believe in you. That doesn't matter.
No. Thank you.
She needs to eat less meat.
All right, so we move across town to find Arimynn and Zorth eating food bought from a street vendor. Basically, breakfast pockets. Not quite up to the level of a brandy special, but good and made to order. So lots of meat in Zorth's and no meat in Arimynn's. And you find
These are pretty
yourself,
good, right?
You find yourself eating down by the water.
Amazing. We should take some of these to go. Always.
Oh, Zori.
Yes.
I'm a little concerned for our friends on the Sprite.
I know. I don't know what to do for them, with them, to help them. I mean,
I'm especially concerned for Sigrith.
right.
They're going to be coming
Unfortunately-
for her.
What?
They're going to be coming for her.
Yes.
They went to that much trouble to get their hands on that device, and they can't, that they're going to get the next best thing. The person who made it.
Yes, but she will not go into hiding. There's no way. I don't see that. Do you see that?
No, she shouldn't, but like I said, I'm just concerned.
And you probably should be. However, it's not necessarily something we're going to be able to help. That took a lot of our resources. And half of them ran, but if they hadn't, what would we be left with? The captain's going to be in town, but
I think we'll be safe here, but we can't stay here forever.
nope. And for how long safe here? I mean, that's nothing we can guess on or,
Well,
I mean, what is your suggestion? Not that she would listen to you or anyone. She's pretty hard-headed, but what are her options? Security 24/7? Better security on the boat, perhaps.
you're not going to like my answer. You're not going to like my answer.
Nope, I'm not going to like your answer.
We're going to have to put an end to those people.
Well, that's already what we were planning on doing. I mean, it's kind of what we were hired to do. Try to figure out what's going on and stop it.
Well, I don't know if it's related or not, but to our mission, but I'm going to pursue it a little deeper if we run into him again.
Like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Investigate. We run into another batch of them, I'm going to make more of an effort to figure out where this is coming from and find them.
Okay. The reason we weren't able to investigate on the ship is because we were on the ship. I mean, we have tried to, I mean, look at the other bandits that we took out. We tried to get as far as we could. And we had, I mean, we could have stayed out there longer, but we had taken prisoners. We had a frozen dead guy. We had 4 other people whose lives were not committed to searching for an answer.
I know.
I mean, had it been the 3 or 4 of us, we could have gone on.
I'm just saying, I think going forward, I'm going to find these guys and stop them. This robed chick and the goon she's got with her.
Question for Jeff.
Okay.
The robed person on the boat, off the boat, you know what I'm saying? When we fought on the boat, could we tell if it was female, male, anything?
It was male.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
It was clearly a guy.
Yeah. I don't think the female robed character I don't think she would deal with the small bandits, just like just like the guy that was with the river bandits. They're peons. They're upper echelon peons, but there's someone more than just the woman in the cloak and the man in the cloak. I don't believe that they would, again, spend their time getting loot from a bandit cell. So it's going to be bigger than we think it is.
If there's something bigger than them, then we take it to the top.
Well,
but I'm going to put an end to it.
That's what we're here for.
All right, so what would you like to do with the rest of your day?
1 second. I was going to say, we can ask the captain if she'll hire more help. But again, Sigrid isn't going to want to be singularly guarded.
I want to talk to Arimynn.
What'd you say?
When we get back together with the other two, I say, has it occurred to anybody that it had to have been an inside job for anybody to know exactly how that engine ran?
I don't think it's that big of a secret that it's magical.
No, and she just told a bunch of people, she told the person at that shop that it was lightning bolt. And, I guess you have to know that it's magical.
Yeah, Tasha, you would know that, the Clever Sprite is well known as the only magical paddle boat traversing the rivers of Aecathan.
They probably don't know how it works. That's what people have been after, is trying to figure out how to recreate it. So getting a hold of the ship or her is their best way to do that.
Okay.
But
shall I find out where they are and let's meet up with them? Or we met up?
I feel Zorathan that I have to go in the morning.
Yeah, you guys have met back up.
We've met up.
Probably back at the tavern.
I know we talked about staying on the Sprite tonight. I need to get a full night's rest. I have a trial to do in the morning.
Trial.
Yeah,
For what?
she's gonna get tested.
By who?
The
Prickly bitch.
head of the Paladin Order of Turaura. They think it's time for me to prove I'm worthy and take my vows.
Well, I think you're worthy.
I thought they were all-knowing and all-seeing. Don't they know that you're worthy?
I have to prove it.
That's
I
a
have
bunch
to-
of crap.
We'll have to agree to disagree.
Face her in combat in the morning.
Oh, good. I haven't beat up a paladin in I don't know how long.
I have
We
to go
can't go.
I say we go, but stay very, very far away.
Okay,
I don't
that's not gonna
like
work.
that.
It's not
I don't like it either.
none of us like it.
Well,
I still have to do it.
All right. I mean, if you think you have to go prove yourself to them, go ahead.
I'm proving myself to someone higher than them.
I could find a druid who could
Right.
change me into something small, and I can go watch from the trees.
Ooh, Meryl. We know a druid.
We do know a druid.
I was instructed to come alone. I appreciate the sentiment, but this is something I have to do.
She wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Would she?
I would.
You could do what makes you happy, I guess.
I lean over to Tasha and I say, maybe a snake, so she wouldn't know we were in the trees.
Well, you just said you're going to be a snake in a tree.
Shit. A bird? Damn it.
Zori, I don't think you're as sneaky as Arimynn, and so maybe you should
you-
leave that to him.
You're not sneaky at all.
Like, I'm terrible at sneaky, but I know that.
Are you sure this is something you need to do alone?
Yes. If I could have you with me, there's no one else I would rather have by my side, but this is between me and Turaura, and I need to do it.
Maybe
By
I'll just be
myself.
a bird on the other side of town.
Good thing I'm not telling her where I'm going, huh?
I know where you're going.
I will,
You
if it's
do,
something you
yes.
believe you should do, then you would ask us for help if you needed it. And so I will give you that privacy. But I don't like it.
Thank you, Zori. You worry about Sigrith, and I'll take care of me.
I ain't worried about you. You got this. Whether you succeed with them or not.
Ooh.
Can I walk you like halfway? And then I'll stay.
I don't know how long I'll be, and you all have to meet him at 11.
Darn it.
I will come to the tavern when I'm done. Besides, I have to be
Okay.
there at first light, and that's really early for Zori.
For
Well,
me-
no, but me, I can get up early.
I get up on time. I get up early.
Early for you is 9.
That's not true.
We're talking about Zoris, not Nikki.
Oh, well, that's because I go to bed at 5, so I get up at 9. It's different.
It will be
It's
fine.
really
I will
different.
meet you at
It's
the
so
tavern.
different.
I'm going to get up, I'm going to pray, and then I'm going to head to the meeting spot. It will all go well, and then I will meet you at the tavern.
Okay.
And then we'll off to the evil Thunder's Edge. Well, it's not evil, but
Excellent.
scary.
So
it's kind of evil.
Are you going to stay on the Sprite, but in bed? I mean, like no watches, obviously, but or are you going to find another place to sleep?
Well, I could stay at the monstrosity, but that place kind of creeps us out.
We'll make sure it's quiet.
Creeps you out.
It's too perfect.
That's never
But if you don't mind me skipping watch, to...
absolutely.
No, go ahead.
We'll put you in the boat quiet.
Take your rest. I want you to be able to put a foot right between her back pockets.
she'll probably be wearing armor. There won't be pockets, but I'll aim there anyway.
Your speech, but you know what I mean.
I would like to find a blacksmith.
Okay. Yeah, there is a smithy in town.
Okay. And I want to describe my cauldron, suspended cauldron that I would like to get.
Oh,
For the boat. You're so smart.
All right. So, the smithy is over on the west side. The sign outside shows basically a bust of a minotaur with a plate gauntlet held in front.
Ooh. Go in there.
All right. You hear the sounds of hammers hitting metal long before you actually catch sight of the building. It's actually two buildings, and there seems to be a covered walkway between the two. It's kind of a unique look for Costead's Wave, as the entire building, even the roof, appears to be made of stone. Not really sure where they got all that stone in this part of the country. But there are almost barn-like doors on both buildings, and they're both wide open.
Go inside towards the sound.
All right. You walk in, and this is very clearly, they are very busy. You see humans, couple half-orcs, couple half-elves, and walking around, walking up to every project and sort of looking it over and chatting with the person who's working is a dwarf woman. Blonde hair, rather unkempt. She's got a very sharp face, and she's wearing glasses. She's dressed in dark greens, but she has a thick leather apron on and a pair of thick leather gauntlets. And she seems to be kind of overseeing everything that's going on.
I'll try and catch her when she glances over. Try and catch her attention.
All right. Yeah, she sees you walk in and leans over and says something to to the person that she was talking to and walks over, pulls the leather gauntlets off, pulls a rag, kind of mops her brow and says, "How can I help you?"
Hello. I'm in search of a metal cauldron that could be suspended that's thick enough to contain fire inside of the cauldron.
Why would you want to do
And a
fire?
grate that
Why
could
would you
go
want to
over
do
the
fire
top.
inside of a cauldron? Usually you put
To
the fire
contain
under
the fire
cauldron.
so that we could use it as a cooking device on a boat.
Huh.
Two things that hold it on one side.
How
Or is it two things that hold it on
would you keep it off the deck?
So if it had chain that could suspend it from a A-frame
Mhm.
apparatus, like
Yeah,
you would
that's
normally do over a fire. So it was off the ground, but the fire would be in, and then a metal grate on top of it that you could cook on top of. You could put a pan or meat or.
You see, she's already deep in thought, and she turns and starts to walk away, and she just kind of waves for you to follow her.
I do.
Walks over to a shelving unit and pulls out a piece of wood and a piece of parchment and a charcoal stick and starts sketching. Takes about 3 or 4 minutes. Seems to know what she's doing. She looks at it, blows on it, says, "Is this what you were thinking?"
Is it what I was thinking?
It's exactly what you were thinking.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's doable. It's going to be something new to
How
try.
much would something?
I don't think I've ever tried anything quite like this before. This is going to be an experience. So,
How much would something like this cost?
Well, it all depends on what you want it made out of. The stand, obviously, you're going to want probably steel. Or at least iron.
Okay.
The chains, same material.
Okay.
And I would say probably a rim that forms around the lip of the cauldron to give it extra hanging support. That should also be the same material. But then, I'm assuming if you're putting this on a ship, you're going to want to cook in it. So you're going to want something that's going to adequately reflect heat well.
Well, it'll cook on top, right? So that'll be the fire, and then put a grate in it, so you can put something on top.
But you know, if you make it so that the heat reflects, then it will actually contain the heat longer, and will cook faster, and continue to cook for a bit after the fire goes out. Brass. Okay. You want brass on the inside. And probably for that, you're actually going to want iron over steel for the outside. So, grabs the stick and starts jotting things down. You're looking at, well, how big are you thinking? I mean, what's the diameter of the cauldron?
It's not a big crew.
This?
2 feet.
Oh, 2 feet, that's a lot.
2 feet. Yeah, that's a decent size. All right, 2 feet. All right, probably about 8 to 10 gold for the material. For the labor, would usually be for a project like this. It's going to take a little bit of time and definitely going to take some artistry and some workmanship. Usually I would charge about 10 gold an hour, and I figure this would take probably about 4 to 6 hours to put it all together. But I've never tried anything like this before. And if it works, I got a whole new business.
You're going to sell a lot of them.
Right. So we'll say half on the labor. So 5 gold an hour for the labor, 4 to 6 hours.
Okay.
So you're looking at a total of about maximum of about 40 gold.
40?
Yep.
Okay.
I would say
How long do you...
Oh, I pipe up. I would say if you find that a 2-foot radius, diameter, whatever, is too large to carry conveniently, like is too heavy, go a little bit smaller, right? Because we don't, it's going to have to be something that they take on and off the boat or store or something.
Well, I think they'll just
right?
leave it on the boat, right?
Well,
I
mean,
think they'll just leave it on the boat.
Yeah, but it'll
If
be
they're
built,
off the boat, they can build a fire.
It'll be built so that you can remove the chains from the frame and the cauldron from the chains. So if you need to sort of, tuck it out of the way, you could do that.
Wonderful. How long do you think? I know you seem very busy. So when do you think you could get to it?
Probably get started in half a week. Maybe a little longer, maybe 4 days.
Okay.
That'll give me time to make sure I've got all the materials that I need. Get the forge set up to work in steel. That takes a little extra. Iron's easy, brass is easier, so no problem there.
Okay. So I pull out 40 gold.
We'll help you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely. It'll make
you
the
want.
trip better for all of us. And
So we're
I
headed
would
out of
not
town, but this is for the sprite.
Sprite.
Are you familiar with it?
Oh, yeah.
The clever sprite?
Yep.
It's a gift for the captain. Well, for the crew.
Oh. All right. We can deliver it. If they're, when they're going to be
That
back
would
in
be-
port?
They're here now and they're staying for a little bit, but I'm not sure how long they'll be here.
Staying.
But we may not be back
All right.
when it's done.
They're having some shore leave.
Oh. Wow. Well, good for them. Okay. Yeah. We'll deliver it probably maybe morning on the 5th day. Got to make sure that it cools and it's not cracked and, quality control.
All right. Take out some money. They'll be so happy.
Is it 40?
Yeah.
So,
You want 10 from me?
Sure.
10 for me as well.
10 from everybody.
You.
All right. Yep. I'll better go
This
and make-
cover delivery too?
Oh, yeah. No problem.
All right.
And better go put something on this. Make sure it doesn't get messed up. I'm gonna need to see this because I'm gonna forget in a couple days, and then I'm gonna look at this and go, "Oh, right, yeah, okay." So,
Thank you so much.
you're welcome. What's your name?
Aribell.
Aribell. Gertis Letker. It's my place. Inherited it from my dad.
It's amazing the craftsmanship that you have.
We got some really talented guys. Some really talented ladies down the other building.
What do they do in the other building?
The other buildings where more of the intricate work goes on. These guys are great for pounding basic shapes, but when it comes to the intricate filigree that some people want, they're just all thumbs. But the ladies in the other building, that's where the talent sits. Just don't tell the guys I said that.
Well, next time we're in town, I'll be sure to stop by. I have some ideas of some things I might want for myself.
Well, we'll be happy to oblige. Right, back to work.
That's all I had on. That's all I had on my list.
All right.
Mark?
So, anything else you want to do? It's probably late afternoon now.
I don't think I have anything. Oh,
Should we do pots and pans and stuff to cook with?
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say we have some basic gear for adventuring, but do we need more weapons, arrows, and
Supplies?
stuff? Since we
We probably need some stuff for our trip too. But yeah, we probably need to stock up on oats
Ammo
and dried meats and all that stuff to take with us. And we can do that tomorrow
All right.
before we head out of town. But
You see Gertis turn
for
around.
meeting him at 11, we can do that in the morning.
You see Gertis turn around as you're discussing this, walking out, and she goes, "Huh? Looking for ammunition?
yes,
Well, we got some. Placed a big order.
Really?
Never came and picked it up.
What kind of ammunition?
The good kind.
Fletching?
Yeah.
You have it?
Arrows and bolts.
ooh,
And,
bolts and bolts.
Low-level enchantment.
Really?
Little easier to hit with them. Yeah.
How much?
Let's see. Got a couple dozen arrows, couple dozen bolts. 23 gold each for the arrows, 24 gold each for the bolts.
Each arrow is 24 gold?
23.
23 gold for each arrow?
Yeah.
Ooh,
And how many do you have?
2 dozen.
Couple dozen.
That person sounds like they wanted some specific ones. If they come back and some of them are gone, will they be upset?
Yet. Told them when they'd be ready. Standard policy. Hang on to them for a week, then try and sell them to anybody else who'd like them.
Yeah, for now.
Well,
I mean, you could buy
that's
what?
above my pay grade.
I'll buy a bolt.
All right.
Just one right now, though.
I understand. They're a little pricey. But, good quality workmanship.
I
They're-
give her
They're
24
masterwork.
gold.
They have to be enchanted. So, yeah, they're really good. She walks over, takes a thing of keys off her belt and unlocks a big cabinet and reaches in and pulls out a bolt. Hands it over to you. It's silver.
Ooh.
You getting any?
Hmm.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Anything else while I'm in here?
One
All
of
right.
these for now.
We're good.
All right. Well, feel free to come on back. Not a lot of call for these. That's why they've been sitting here. Closes the door, locks it back up. So you have a +1 bolt.
I was saying they probably already have pots and pans because they used to cook off the ship. It's just that because they
That's
haven't
true.
been docking
Yeah,
off
that's
that. So they have all the equipment. They just haven't been able to use it.
Yeah, because Arimynn and Zorth know that what used to happen on... Well, yeah, you know too, Aribell. What used to happen is they would actually pull into shore for the night and camp on the banks.
Right, and they can't. Right.
Yep, and they'd make a fire and they'd pull out all the cooking utensils. They'd cart a couple crates off the ship, had all that stuff in it, and the foodstuffs and everything. That just
All right,
became too
so we head back to the
dangerous.
sprite.
So,
Yep. Back to the Sprite.
all right. So you head back to the Sprite. You see Yarla and Marrow and Barnaby kind of kicked back on the deck, which is bare now. And
Marrow's back?
Yeah.
Okay.
he kind of looks up as you board and he's like, "Hey. So, she kind of threw me out." Sigrith.
What? Threw you out of what?
Out of the wand. But apparently, she's staying there tonight. And I figure...
Well, that wizard can probably protect
yeah,
her.
She's going to be a lot more useful protecting her than I would be. Lady's been doing magic for like 50 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So, she said I can come back and pick her up tomorrow. But they got an idea. They're working on something. So.
That's good. Yeah, as high level enchanted as those items were, she is definitely going to pack a punch.
Yeah. Just so you know, she's level 18.
Right.
Hmm.
Who's level 18?
Eva.
Oh, okay.
Eva, that's right.
The one who can see without seeing?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. One who our auras are too bright for her. Yeah, that's why.
Is the captain on board?
Nope. She's, I think she's still off drinking. She'll be back in the morning.
I'm gonna head inside and contemplate.
Start your sleep for tomorrow.
Fine. Worry about Zori.
Worry about
I
me.
always worry about. It's my job. Subtle.
Fine.
All right. So, as you settle in to relax, look out across the waters as the sun sets in the west, bed down for the night, knowing that tomorrow...
I'm going to be a bird. Oh, wait, I'm kidding.
Tomorrow is a new beginning in a couple different ways. And you settle down for a long rest, and that's where we'll end tonight.
Caca, caca. My poop in that lady's eye.
Oh, that is a thought.
Yeah, you would, if you had a chat with Marrow, he would explain that he is nowhere near powerful enough to even do that himself. Let
I
alone do
wouldn't.
it to anyone else.
I think it's funny, but I wouldn't. She said she wanted to go alone, and I wouldn't betray that.
All right.
If it were anything but fighting for her, if it weren't her leveling up her pally part of it, like, you know, if I didn't trust that she was in safe hands, I would go, but I trust her.
All right.
I don't trust her.
So
They're not going to kill me. Gosh, they're just going to be like, you
I
suck.
I just don't like that lady at all.
I trust Aribell is what I meant. I trust Aribell saying that
yes,
she's
I
got
trust
it. Not because I've
Aribell.
not met that lady, so I don't know how bad she is.
after I get my 4 hours that night, Jeff,
Mm-hmm.
I get up and I do intentionally sneak off and go back to the
Wand.
wand.
You better tell him you're coming.
Okay.
Oh, I don't go in. I just kind of sit out by the door and keep watch.
All right.
Vagrant.
That's all.
You big vagrant.
As you get up there, you see that, you know, the door is closed, but around the corner, sort of around the back of the building, there is a window, and you can see candlelight. And as you sort of glance in the window, you can see both Ava and Sigrith sitting facing each other, heads down, working on a single piece of parchment together.
All right. Well, I will sit underneath that window. Kind of cloak myself in the shadows between the buildings so that I'm not interrupted by anyone.
All right.
So
We'll
that's
say
where I'll stay.
for sake of story that you are easily able to do that. And there's not a problem.
All righty. That's all.
All right.
Now I'm ready.
Okay. Excellent. Well, that's where we'll end this evening. We'll pick this back up next Tuesday. It's going to be an interesting experience, at least for one of you.
Right. I've never been a bird before.
No.
I bet that other druid you met could do it. Caliban.
Yeah. Make her a dodo bird, right?
They can't fly.
Penguin. Definitely penguin.
Penguin, which I'm sure none of you know.
Night, everybody.
Yep.
Good night.
So
I know. I was saying to the audience.
Oh.
yeah.
Good night.
Remember,
Hey,
have a
don't hang up
wonderful
on
week.
everybody.
Stay safe, stay sane, wear your mask, and we'll talk to you next Tuesday night when we can officially welcome you back to the lands of Aecathan.
Yay.
Good night, everybody.
Don't forget about all of our stuff. Social media.
Oh, yeah.
Check out our website.
Artifactsworldswide.com. Good night.
.com.